Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. Today is another day, another big day, another good day. Today we are privileged to have with us Mr. Henry Costa, a well-known talk show host, an advocate. Even though he said he's no longer an advocate, he's now a politician. He's going to be our guest today. We are going to be having a conversation on a variety of issues with no limitation when it comes to politics. We want to make sure we remain within the confines of this platform, which is respect. Also, to our valuable followers, I want to encourage each and every one of you to remain within the confines of our platform. You can say, you can disagree, you can say you lie, you can say that's not true, but there are certain words that are not acceptable to this platform, SKTV. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I want to encourage you to share the show because the conversation today is going to be really, really, really interesting. And we want to encourage everybody to share the show. All right. Since Costa now endorsed the President George Montefiore, and Costa is coming on today, we're going to play the music for the president as well.
Amanda, Awetu, Maipuye, Iliberia, Maipuye, Chovia, Deble,
Trigger.
Aha, Yamu on the road, the punch giant ready to take over.
Like it.
Yamu on the road, beat Papa coming again. Yamu on the road, Papa Georgie coming again. Yamu on the road, Mama Joe coming again. Rossi, Tisha Kami Egi, Nale Wo Country Giant, Kami So, Better Moon, I say you're better Moon, you is about to get away, pulling back to get away, we coming again, Moon Rossi, Tisha Kami Egi, Yamu Rocha, we are coming again, Moon Mama Joe, coming again. Open the road, see the Shangami again. Now the whole country giant coming so. Better move on the road. Say you're better move your road. Take it away. Better get away. We coming again. We supposed to win the scheme. We coming again. Coalition for democratic change. Now the whole country champion coming so. You better move on the road. I say you better move your road. You be Paris get away. Better get away. Yen say I'm on go. I say I come. I table. Musical corridor. Yen say I'm on go. I say I come. Finish shake your body. Shake your body. Why don't you shake your body? Shake your body. Acha le oh. See your le oh. Acha le oh. See your le oh. Say acha le oh. Say we'll celebrate. I wear mostly go corridor. Today is a wonderful day. We'll celebrate. It's a beautiful day. We'll celebrate. Déjà ready. We'll celebrate. It's a holiday, your moment. We'll celebrate. You be brothers in your way. We'll celebrate. Nothing you can tell us now. We'll celebrate. Nothing you get to tell us now. We'll celebrate. We are in the breeze. Team feeling in a race. We feeling in a race. Everybody look at this. Feeling we the race.
You're moving on the road. We got
people, we coming in with full. Kakabella, Jella, Wapi, we coming make y'all defeated. Big politician, we putting y'all on the ground. CDC, Fimi, take it. We party, y'all can see it. John Man, we are. Este, Joe, Howard Taylor, and Cook Brothers, huh? We the one that caught the giant. Y'all know we the lion. We all lion straight from giant. So save the people then from the hands of the wicked one. Dakim and Fuha, so this time they gotta get away. But we are popo. That's sleeping for this supposed to popo. Este, Joe, popo. I'm picking like that's supposed to popo. They call our heavyweight. That we the champion team. Peace where we remain. International we do be. Sing with me, say, Ata le 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 oh. Si o le 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 oh. Ata le 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 oh. Si o le 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 oh. Power to the people, only for the men and do evil. They say the people why, I'm putting them in the spot. They get a big king, no to see rapping, get rap the king. Can I get away? And it's about the end, y'all spend. Like Taraco, we plugging. CDC, now take it. DC, CDC, we the champion team. Boom, baby.
You Jezo, ruling party, you're in trouble. Come on, y'all move on the road. CDC coming in with four. We're not taking the straight for Joe. We're battle y'all to the chicken crow. AFC say y'all win the team, but who about more than win the team? Like we the champion team, so for the win the game. AFC say y'all turn giant, but win the lion from Zion. Like we the whole country giant, we eat again and we eating cayenne. So if y'all walk, you be people, y'all be making buck. AFC we not some sir. If y'all ain't more on the road, I keep with pour in your mouth. Ruling by the jelly, walla, every one of y'all making kaka. You guys see we take over, so y'all coming in with power. We don't have for making fault, all we offer are making love. All the other parties then going straight down to the doors. CDC we standing tall, observing and watching y'all. Y'all think that I'm thinking team, to be cheating the winning team. This time we too aware, so we changing the referee. This time we too aware, so we changing the referee. Y'all wanna roll beef, Papa coming again. Y'all wanna roll Papa Georgie coming again. Y'all wanna roll Mama Joe coming again. Who wanna roll CD coming again. Now the whole country giant coming so better move I say you're better move your money. You get about to get away. You sleeping for the get away. We coming again.
Once again, folks, I want to welcome all of you. I want to encourage you to share the show. Please share the show. Okay, we're going to play music one more time, and then we will jump into the conversation right away. All right? Please go ahead and share the show.
Hey. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. It was on the beat. Oh.
D12 on the beat.
If nobody talks about you, you are nobody. Nobody. If nobody chewing your bone, you are nobody. They will know everything about you more than you know yourself. Yeah. They will talk, they will talk, they will talk, just to bring you down. Yeah. They will spread all your bad news more than they spread your good news. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Oh, see, let them do the talking again. See, I will do the bluffing, yeah, yeah. Anything they say about me, please believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it.
Want to encourage each and every one of you to share the show once again. Let me see this 1 second. So, folks, those of you who have shared the show, I want to say thank you. If you haven't done so, I want to say thank you. You have to share the show, please, because it's important. The conversation today is going to be very, very, very interesting as always. Let me take this time to recognize a few of you. We want to welcome you all. And let me see the first person to get on here today, or even to write on here. Perhaps it may not be the first person to get on here, but to say something. Because if you say nothing, we will not see you. You know, sometimes we can see, a lot of people join already. Oh, damn. Okay. I will just try my best. I may not be able to call everybody name. Yvonne EO, welcome to SKTV. And another Yvonne, what was it? Yvonne, I, I, I did, Yvonne, I'll stop there. I don't want to mutilate your name. I'm sorry. Yeah, again, I want to say Sarah Schnatter, welcome to SKTV. Joseph Hoffman, welcome to SKTV. My brother Harris Tucker, brother Stewart, Asata Dawson, welcome to SKTV. Clara Moon, welcome to SKTV. Toby Wilson, Mary Pratt, and Robert Ifa, welcome to SKTV. Victoria Graham, welcome to SKTV. Ali Isha Danzo, welcome to SKTV. And Joko Walto, welcome to SKTV. Miata Bala Kamara, welcome to SKTV. Eloise Ombada, welcome to SKTV. She said DNB all the way. Yeah, Eloise, welcome to SKTV. Nawali, welcome to SKTV. And Luis, welcome to SKTV. And I'll try to call a few names. Game Jason, welcome to SKTV. Regina Wilson, Picture Home. Picture Home, welcome to SKTV. Go Blazo, welcome to SKTV. Miata is already here. And those of you who have not said something, but I don't see any, I'm sorry. Yeah, and let's see. Lucretia Gibson, welcome to SKTV. And Bled Batu, welcome to SKTV. And hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Oh, Harris Tucker. Yeah, folks, welcome to SKTV. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today. Today, we are privileged, as always, to host Henry Costa, the host of the Costa Show. According to him, he's no longer an advocate. He's now a politician. He's one of the popular political figure, if you will, a talk show host in Liberia. So today, when we posted, let's see, Ross Doyen is here, Eugenia is here, and Randall Waluba is here, Sidiki Kroma is here. Sidiki Kroma is going to be joining us as well. And Steve will be joining us. Brazilian Monk, Saros. Yeah, we have a lot of people here today. Orita is here. Orita, welcome to SKTV. If I don't call any means, I've not seen your stuff. Alex, welcome to SKTV. Alex Collins, welcome to SKTV from all the way London. Yeah, Mariam M. Trawali, welcome to SKTV. Alfred, welcome to SKTV. Elizabeth, welcome to SKTV. Maurice Keita, I hope that's my brother Maurice Keita from all the way Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Welcome to SKTV. Frederick Welcome to SKTV. Manje Gafwa, welcome to SKTV. Lincoln Colley, welcome to SKTV. Brahima Fode Jabate, welcome to SKTV. Ahmed Sisse, Ma Ami Son. Okay, Ma Ami Son, welcome to SKTV. And CEO Lele, welcome to SKTV. Naomi Mimi, welcome to SKTV. George Lamandi, welcome to SKTV. You know, so when I posted the Hassan Belate, welcome to SKTV. Serena Tisley, welcome to SKTV. Beatrice Pupo, welcome to SKTV. A lot of people here. I'm sorry, I will not be able to call you by any. I'll just continue talking while we wait our guests. Oh, my brother is here. Benjamin Jonah, the man I call the undercover seditious. I want to encourage all of you to share the show. Share the show. Share the show. Share the show. It's important we share the show. As I speak to you, people are making every effort to hack us. They've been sending me messages, links to the WhatsApp. They've been sending me a link to my regular phone number. They've been sending me a link on the Facebook account just to disrupt the show today. So share the show. And by any chance, if you are kicked out, come back. They'll be sending virus and a lot of things just to interrupt the show. So we're going to have this show today. So somebody wrote saying that, you know, this politics is funny. Two big rival talk show hosts are now friends thanks to GNB. The two big rivals are now friends thanks to GNB. I said, well, I said, that's okay. If GNB can bring people together, then GNB is the man. You know, and if GNB is a uniter, the GNB is the man. If GNB is the person who can actually bring the people in the community together, Liberian together, then GNB should be able to keep all his people, to himself. You know, people should not be, ungrateful to people or letting people go. But yes, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today. As always, SKTV is going to be SKTV. We discuss issue. We discuss politicians. We discuss politics. And SKTV is not owned by a particular group of people. It's owned by all Liberians, regardless of your political affiliations, regardless of your religion, regardless of your country of origin. It doesn't really matter to us. SKTV belongs to everybody, all Liberians. And again, we don't keep grudges. We don't keep enemy. People keep grudges against us because we tell it like it is. We don't cut a speech. If we say something about you, if you think it's negative, if you have a problem with it, talk to us. If you think the information we provide is inaccurate, talk to us. Come on and set the record straight. We are for Liberia. We're not for one person. I know some of our friends, some of our mean supporters be like, oh, don't bring Costa on the show. No. Let's be tolerant. Let's be friends. Let's be brothers and sisters. Let us disagree without being enemy. Politics, you don't take it that serious. For example, just yesterday, people that were enemy, that were insulting each other, politicians that were calling each other names are now the best friends. They are sitting on the same table now, drinking, eating, and having fun while you're there, cutting off speech from from your family and friends. Let's emulate the good example of the American politic, wherein husband and wife can be of different political party but still, live their life. Oh, my daughter just joined us, Mawata Kante from all the way Tunisia. French people say Tunisie. Mawata MK Kante, welcome, my daughter. And so somebody asking whether I'm tolerant. I am the most tolerant person you ever seen. Some of you will not be here if I wasn't. Many of you have come here and insulted me and said things about me and never bother you. I'm quick to even block people on my personal page than I do on SKTV. I don't block people on SKTV just like that, especially if you attacking me or insulting me as a person. No, I don't care. But if you're attacking my guest, my follower, my friend, and other people who are here for the sanity of the platform, we will give you warning. And if you don't listen, we will take you for safekeeping. But if it comes to me personally or any of our friends, we don't care. We will encourage you to be safer, to be tolerant, to be respectful, but we will not block you or take you off for your opinion. We don't do that. So for all our friends, our SKTV family, for those of you who are in the SKTV chat room, we want to encourage you. You don't have to bother about where is the link. The link is there. If you need to come on, if you want to come on, you can just go to our WhatsApp chat room and join the conversation. So we are waiting on the guest, but while we wait for the guest, a lot going on today when it comes to Liberian politics. It doesn't matter who you support. The confidence level is high from both ends. I don't know who is genuine or I don't know who is faking it. There's a saying that says, fake it till you make it. There are people who are faking it, knowing that they don't have the willpower to win, knowing that they don't actually have the number to win. Somebody said we're not on YouTube. No, that's not real. We are on YouTube. Yes, we are on SKTV. We are on SKTV Live. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We are on everything. Trust me. Go and check it up again. Let me double check from my end here. I think we are on YouTube. Somebody said we're not on YouTube. SKTV should be on YouTube. Yeah, we are. See right here? This is YouTube right here, man. We are on YouTube. Yeah, people already started joining on YouTube. I have about, I think about 31 people already joined us on YouTube. Yeah, so people are joining us on YouTube. Actually, we are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We are on SKTV, on SKTV Live. So we are everywhere. So again, like I was saying, if you ask our Unity Party supporters today, the level of energy, the level of confidence that I'm seeing, you will feel like Unity Party already won the election. And if you listen to CDC, you listen to insider of the CDC, they are more than confident that they already won the election. And they can make the argument saying about Sekou. Look at the first round. when we had everybody against us, because they are the sitting government, when we had everybody against us, we received the highest number of votes running against everybody else. Now we are running against just one person. What do you expect? They are saying their number will be added up. And GNB number 2 should be added up. But what they are saying, in short, the fact that they are the incumbent government, when everybody was running against them, they should have had the lowest number because they were going against everything and everybody. But for them to have received more vote than anybody else in the election, they believe that they have what it takes to win this election. So let me play one more song for us to be able to check on the guest. Let's see what's going to making sure that he got the link and everything's okay with him. And then we'll be right back. So let me do this right here. Let's do this right here.
Over Satan power, as I ain't good more. I'm an overcomer. Yes, we're doing good more. Over Satan power, as I ain't good more. See, I'm an overcomer. I say yes, we're doing good.
Yes, we're doing good. Over Satan power, desire in Kuni. I'm an overcomer.
I say yes, we're doing good.
Yes, we're doing good. Over Satan power, desire in Kuni. I'm an overcomer.
I'm a dinner, one man to Hosanna.
Hosanna.
For you know, Jesus Narbano. I'm for you know, Woman to Hosanna. Jesus Narbano. I mean, you know, I'm born to say Jesus Narbano.
Hosanna. You know, I was reading some of the comments while I was talking to the guest, to Costa. Costa will be here, and he's actually running a little late. He apologized for running late. He went somewhere and then got stuck. You know, like Labrador, the traffic in Labrador is crazy. So he's going to be here in about 20 minutes or so. However, before Costa gets here, let's talk about the current reality. While I was reading some of the comments, I saw Eugenia welcoming a lot of seditionists are here. And she's welcoming them. You know, Eugenia is an integral part of this platform, SKTV. You know, we have a lot of people who are member and followers and supporters of SKTV behind the scene. So Eugenia is one of them. She's very, very instrumental and resourceful when it comes to SKTV. So Eugenia is good. You welcome the people. So, like we have said in the past, this platform belongs to everybody. There are people who have deprived themselves from coming on SKTV. So, everybody's welcome. We have said this time without number, that we welcome everybody, whether you are a politician, you are a member. In fact, we even open the door for everybody to even come here as guest panelists. They will be appearing sometimes to come here and make the case for your party. We have said that over and over. But people do, go to places they're comfortable. And for us, we are here. You will go, you will come back, we will call you, you will call us. Anytime you want to come, you come. So, like Henry Costa, like everybody else, we criticize anybody. As long as you are, part of the society, Liberian society, especially people who are political figures or who are public figures, we will always criticize you. It doesn't mean we are enemies. It doesn't mean we hate you. We criticize the president of the republic all the time. What about the common people? What about regular people? What about regular politicians? So we criticize everybody. We will say good thing about you if you do good. Like, for example, sometimes, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, when President Weah planted those light posts, I don't know, it was in Buchanan somewhere. I don't know where it was. I can't remember exactly. But when we came here to praise him, to say thank you for doing that, some of our friends had started attacking us. Liberian people say, why praise the man? Why thank the man for doing the job he's getting paid for? Like common lipo, that's something to tell somebody thank you. And we have the belief that if you can't appreciate the little thing, you will not appreciate the big one. We also believe, even if your son does something for you, tell him thank you. Some other I've worked in corporate America. I've served in some good position here in America. I've worked also as a casual laborer, like, working, pushing cartoon. I did that when I first came to this country in Minnesota. But your supervisor, they will tell you thank you. In fact, there are times they give some people some award as the highest worker of the month, of the year. Sometimes they take some job, they take particular time. They call it appreciation day. They appreciate people. They give some people money, they give some people a gift card, they give some people different stuff. So being appreciative of somebody, it doesn't mean that you're not paying them, but you're giving them more courage. As a matter of fact, if you kind of like somebody who is not grateful to anything, you will turn the person off. Whether they do good, they do bad, it's still the same. They'll be like, well, it doesn't matter anymore. So you have to appreciate people for whatever they do, as long as it's a good thing. If they do bad thing, you criticize them. That's exactly what we have been doing here. And when it comes to the current reality, the political climate, I think both parties celebrating what they have received. In terms of endorsement, it was a big endorsement for the Unity Party this week, or last week, or this week. I'm not sure when it was, but it was a big endorsement. The endorsement of Togam, Dr. McIntosh, endorsement of Amara Kone, endorsement of Ako. Those are big endorsement. Endorsement of Justice Kabine Jane. Those are big endorsement. But the biggest of all endorsement was the endorsement of the CPP. Give it or take it. CPP endorsement was the biggest of all. And the reason is very simple. Liberia, we have a lot of political parties. In this election, we had more than 40 political parties, I think 43 or so. And we had about 20 presidential candidates, including the current president. Among all of them, we have three biggest parties. And the three bigger parties are CDC, CPP, and the Unity Party, with no special order. You can say Unity Party, CDC, or CPP, or CPP, Unity Party, or CDC, with no particular order. But those are the three biggest parties in Liberia right now. In terms of support system, in terms of organization, in terms of the caliber of people that are in them, those are the three bigger parties. If you have top three and one of it join the other one, that is an added advantage, a big advantage. You will like it or not, but that's a fact. Without discounting the endorsement of other people, Amara Kone is a huge asset. How much is going to be valuable or how much impact he's going to have on this election, I don't know. But Amara Kone is a big name. Amara Kone is a technocrat, and he's well respected. He's well connected. But is he going to add anything to the Unity Party that will change the trajectory? We don't know. That's why even when we still have how many more days? Today is what? Today is the 8th. 6 more days to the election. 5 more days, actually. People still have room to reach out. People still have room to add more vote to what they already have. And actually, who is working, who is adding vote, who is actually bringing people on board, we don't know. But we'll soon know. But if you look at the two political parties right now, who has the advantage? You are going into the competition. You did the first round. CDC accumulated more votes than any other political parties in the race. At least by 7,000 votes. Looking at the number of voters, whether it's registered voters or valid vote, 7,000 is like nothing. You know, looking at almost 2 million votes. But it's also something when it's only two people, you know, when it's two political parties. Because why? It's no longer about, oh, you know, nobody can get to 50 plus 1. No. It's almost like it's going to be now simple majority. Because you know why? Whatever the number is going to be, whatever the numbers are going to be for both parties, it's going to be 50 plus 1. Because they're going to be, let's say, for example, close to 2 million people voted the last time. Let's say this time around, only 1 million people vote, or 1.2 million people vote, or 1.5 million people vote. Guess what? Anybody who get the highest vote, that will be that number going to be split into 2, right? If that 1.2 million people vote, let's say you have 1.2 million, 600,000 will be 50%. Anybody got 600,000 plus one vote, that means that 50 plus one. So regardless, somebody going to win it. When you have a lot of people in it, it's like, it's going to be hard for any one person to accumulate, 50%, because the number is going to be scattered all over the place. But if you have only two people running, it means that it's going to be 50% either way, plus one. So let's say if somebody get 500,000 votes, and you have total vote of 1,200 votes, it means that that number could be, amount to 45 to 55, or maybe 60 to 40. 60 to 40, but it has to be, split between the two people. So this election, for my own opinion, I think this election has already been decided. Those who are Unity Party people that voted for Joseph Boakai and they are Unity Party people, they're still going to vote for Joseph Boakai. All of them may not vote because of logistical problem. You may not have all the people that voted to vote this time around, but the people they voted for is likely, more than likely, they're going to vote for the same people that they voted for in the first round. What is interesting here in the second round is that people who did not vote for either one of them, like say those that didn't vote for George Weah and they didn't vote for what's his name, Joseph Boakai, they are now going to have to make a choice. And who is winning those people? Is it the Unity Party winning more people over, or is it the CDC and President Weah? I don't know about what's happening on the ground. I'm not sure about what's happening on the ground. But for what we can see on social media and the people we have talked to, and given the level of engagement on social media, private conversations, it seems like CDC is reaching out more than the Unity Party. It seems like the Unity Party has been more distracted, fighting individuals, fighting, talking about unnecessary stuff, than reaching out to win more support. Not the big name, but talking about regular people. Even people on the ground, according to people that we have talked to, they have always, told us that, CDC people, they are reaching out. They are very aggressive in reaching out. They're making sure. In fact, somebody say, oh, in fact, people, they are using money. They are using cash. Whatever they are doing, it is clear that CDC is reaching out. They are making friends. They are being persuasive. They are doing what is supposed to be doing to get more vote. Whereby more Unity Party people, the more they do is to insult, disrespect, attack, and create more enemy, which is not politically smart. Politically, it's not smart. I don't know where the confidence of the Unity Party is coming from. From some of friends in the Unity Party, they told me that Unity Party is going to win. They are very, very confident that they're going to win the election. But their action, and from what we're hearing from people, some be reaching out to me, but most of their supporters, their behavior is not encouraging. Look at Go listen to the biggest echo chambers of the Unity Party. The Liberia First News, where lies and deception are their way of giving news. Lies, deception, hate, and violence are their way of giving news. If you go there, they only talk about hate, deception, lies, personal attack, but they are not talking about anything that will encourage new people. Because the thing is, the people you already have, you have them. They're already on your side. They're going to support you. They're going to vote for you. They are with you. You don't need them anymore. You don't need to convince them. You need to do something to convince people who are not on your side. Convince people who don't support you. Convince people who are still on the fence. Convince people who are still on the fence, who still scratching their heads whether or not they should support you. But if you fight everybody, how are you going to get more support? You're only going to get what you have. That's why even the Republican Party, because of the Fox News of America, similar to the Fox News of Liberia, the Republican Party's support is diminishing. Republican Party, they are losing support all the time. And if they don't be careful, at the end of the day, the Republican Party may struggle to get any of the position, whether it's the presidency, whether it's the Senate or the House of Representatives. It's going to be hard for the Republican Party because why? They're scaring people away. If they are not talking about hate against Muslims, if they're talking about hate against the Jews, they're talking about the hate against majority, but they are just there to scare people. They are there to speak to their base. They are there to, throw out red meat, racist comment, things then that will really, really drive the minority away from them. When we came in this country here, majority of the voters in America here used to be white people. And not only white people, but it used to be around maybe, it used to be like a 70% or 75% of the total vote. But now it's diminishing. And there are some white people that are not racist. So the ones that are not racist, the ones that are issue-driven white people, along with the minority, that's why Democrats been winning all the time, because other people they are not adding any numbers. They're scaring people away. Unity Party people, that's the major problem. You can hate me, you can like me. I'm just telling you the truth. The minute you will realize to be friendly, to be tolerant, to reach out to people, to be able to inform people about your, about your platform, about your policy prescription, what you can do for Liberia and for the Liberian people. The more you do that, the more people you will get. But the more you attack people, creating more enemy for yourself, believe me, you will get yourself to blame at the end of the day. I think our guest is here. He's trying to get situated. And once he is situated, Mr. Costa, if you are there and you are situated, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's get here. Mr. Henry Pedro Costa, welcome back to SKTV, my brother. How are you?
Thank you so much, Ego. Good to be here, my brother. It's a pleasure.
It's been a minute.
It has. Definitely has. But I'm proud of you, my man. You've done a great job. You've built a very powerful platform, and I watch from time to time. And just keep it up, bro.
Thank you. So yeah, by the way, how you doing and how's Liberia?
Liberia is all right. It's all right. It's a typical October month. Some days it will rain, the October rain, and that kind of then it stops, and then it shines. But it's lovely. It's peaceful, Yeah, it's okay.
You peaceful. It's peaceful. Do you think it's going to remain peaceful post-election? Still going to be peaceful, you think?
I pray so, Sekou. There's really no telling what will happen. I believe that CDC is going to win, but United Party is not going to accept. Even if you brought Prophet Muhammad, peace to his ashes, to serve as the election commission chair, and if he were to declare we are winner, UP will not accept. So that's it. But I don't know to what extent they're going to do or what they're going to do, but they're not want to go to, they're not going to want to accept. Yeah. So I hope the peace will be maintained.
So being in Liberia for the past week or weeks, what is the mood like over there? I mean, for your own, understanding of things, you think who is actually trending, who is actually making a case, and where are people gravitating towards?
That's a good question, Sekou. To be honest, the both camps, they get endorsements. UP is getting endorsements. When you endorse UP, you women, Sekou. When you endorse CDC, you buy me. So we are seeing that the hypocrisy on display, and but CDC is doing much more because they are working with the legislative candidates, not only the winners, but the second and third place holders. They are also working to facilitate the trucking of those people back. Because you see a lot of those representative candidates and senatorial candidates who trucked voters, they're not going to be trucking them back at their expense. So CDC is working with those people to ensure that those people are trucked back. But of course, they are only trucking the people back in their strongholds. They're not trucking people back in areas where UP won. Who would truck people back to an area where you didn't win?
No, nobody will do that.
Exactly.
Okay. So
I just
go ahead.
Go on.
No, go ahead.
No. I just left the president. We were at the CDC headquarters. There was a program there. They were having an intercessory service, and we just got home. And earlier today, I went to the Veterans Bureau in Dole community, spoke to the people there, and then the president himself went in District 4. He went door to door. He was sharing his experience with us, and so so they're doing that. I mean, I'm told the other people were out there today too, but it's good. What's happening? In fact, he explained something. He said, "Look, when we're heading towards the Mount Barclay area, and we heard that UP people were there, and he told the people let's turn around and go because he didn't want to clash where the two groups, and I told him that was a good thing because we don't want in a situation with two groups or the two different groups clashing there. So so people are moving about, but not a lot of campaigning happening in that sense. It's just merely endorsements, and then for example, CDC is doing strategic outreach. They're doing a lot of voter education. Now the ballot paper will be shorter. It will just be two sets of two players, essentially. Mm-hmm. So we should expect less invalid votes this time, hopefully.
So how is the reception? Do you feel welcome in the CDC or by the CDC because of, you've been one of the fierce critics for years, and then all of a sudden now Costa is there campaigning for President Weah. How are you being received? How do you feel? Do you feel welcome by those guys, and do you feel safe?
I do, Sekou. Don't forget now, these people were my original supporters back when Unity Party was in power. We went to the CDC headquarters today. Yesterday, we were there, Ben Senvi, myself, Kev Hassan, Tumalin George. And you should have seen the way the people were excited when they saw us. They were like, all of them, they were excited, taking pictures and lecturing, hugging us, welcome back home, welcome back home. We were there before, Sekou. It's like you used to live in the village and our people, and then something happened, you left, and then you come back. And they're happy you're coming back because they know what you bring to the table. So at the end of the day, those people are intelligent people. And then, of course, we were just sitting there on the platform with the president just now. We just left there. So they know what we bring to the table. And we feel safe and very welcome, Seko. Very safe and welcome.
Yeah, the reason why I asked you whether you feel safe, because a lot of people believe that Liberian people, we are very vindictive and we always, do things, we will show white teeth and, not being honest about what we do. So that's why I say, okay, now you feel well. So when it comes to you now campaigning for president, you did not campaign for either party in the first round. Why you decided to go in the second round? Why?
That's a good question, sir. I didn't support any of them in the first round. I voted for Tiawan Gonglo, and I announced it on the closing argument, and that's who I voted for. But I voted for him knowing that he was not going to make it to the second round. But I was hoping for CDC, even though I voted for Tiawan Gonglo, but I was also realistic that the election was actually between UP and CDC. And between UP and CDC, I had made up my mind ever since that I wanted CDC to flog them, So even though I didn't vote for CDC, but I wanted CDC to beat them. But when that didn't happen, and we had conversations, we had conversation with our people. My brother Benson and I, we had a lot of talk. We felt that we could no longer sit on the fence, so we had to make a decision. And because I heard you earlier, your opening commentary, Sekou, you were right, spot on. UP has this dangerous mentality that when you do not support them, you are bad. You don't see CDCs attacking people who don't endorse them. You don't see it, Sekou. You do not. If you don't endorse CDC will not cost you. They will not call you this, they will not call you that. But UP, if you don't endorse them, then you are a traitor, you don't love the country, you're this, you're that. So for us, it's a dangerous thing. And these people should not come to power. And so we sat on the fence the first round, but the second round we were forced to get involved.
So what do you think will be the impact of your endorsement at this time? Even though the first one is finished, what do you think will be the impact of your endorsement this time around?
First thing first, I'm not going to try to come across as being arrogant, but Seko, now, we built a so-called rescue mission, right? The whole country knows that. And we were the win in their sale. And when we were quiet from March till the first round, that helped them. It also helped CDC. I mean, basically, we were out. Our voice became silent. What we've been doing has changed a lot of minds. And don't take my word for it. Talk to other people, Seko. First of all, UP has lost their momentum. They are cussing me all day. In fact, they make it look like if you are from another country and they know who are participating in election, UP they make it look like it's Costa versus Joe Boakai running. And that's what it is. And that's what I wanted it to be. I got them exactly where I wanted them to be. Distracted, not to win out of the sale. Not only that, we're changing lots of minds, especially the people in the middle. The people who voted for Alex Cummings, the people who voted for all the other candidates, those people are more easily swayed than the people who voted for Boakai. Even the people who voted for Boakai. I know people personally who voted for Boakai in the first round have said to me, look, you know what? We're not going to vote for Boakai anymore. We're not going to vote for George Weah. So, and so that's been hurting them very badly, what we've been doing. Because we know how to do this stuff, Seko. We've been doing this for a long time. So it's a take-down strategy. We've sapped the morale. Joseph Boakai is being made mockery of rather than people taking him to be a serious candidate. People are mocking him, like old man beggar, ungrateful pape. You don't need that, Seko. That is demoralizing, and that's strategically why we're doing it. You are the man running for president. You are supposed to be this revered, respectable statesman, but all of a sudden you're exposed to be nothing but some old man who couldn't manage his own resources. And that's just bad.
Thank you so much, Costa. Steve, welcome. And Saros, welcome. I think Siriki is here, but Siriki camera is not open. I'm not going to put him on here. Once we got his camera open, we'll bring him on. But yeah, Steve and Saros, guys, welcome. You guys, Steve, since you are somewhere, and then you can ask one or two questions to Costa, then we can move forward.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cannon. Welcome to the show, Costa. Welcome to
Thank
our
you,
viewers
Steve.
and our from around the world. As always, I think maybe Costa would agree with me that Liberia women are the most beautiful women on earth. I don't think that's something he's willing to debate. I don't
Not
think
at all,
so.
my bro. I don't want to be held in contempt.
Exactly. But I wanna pivot the conversation to the future because whether we like it or not, there are some glaring facts that already exist, such as um, I've said it personally that anybody who be you before can be you again. That's just how we say in Liberia, and that's a fact of the matter, right? In as much as I don't support President George Weah or Joseph Yuma Boakai, here's my question because I don't want to speak from the executive standpoint at this point. This question is geared towards the legislature because I think this is where one of our problems stems in a country. My question to you is, we've seen as Liberians or as the government to have a defiant posture to our friends and our partners, such as we've re-elected Prince Johnson, we've re-elected the senator from Grand Cape Mount that was sanctioned, but we added on two more of them, which is Nathaniel McGill and Bill Twawe. That's a defiance posture. What do you make of our international relations vis-a-vis the President Weah government that was not able to get the American government to work with them like they've worked with other governments in the past? Quoting President Charles Taylor, any president or anybody that wants to succeed in the presidency has to be in line with Washington. What do you say?
Well, I think it was one of the biggest challenges for the administration. Their handling of their foreign relations, foreign policy. It was very challenging. I think the Weah administration in the first term should have really learned from Ellen's playbook. They had some challenges there, and that really hurt them badly. I hope they will learn to work on that in the second term, if or when they do get re-elected, which is very likely. Yesterday's MCC scorecard, and they are passing with very very great flying colors, 14 out of 20. That's very good. That's the highest Liberia has ever scored, especially in certain indicators that they previously hadn't passed, like fiscal policy and stuff. So I think that is an indication that their outlook, the U.S. government is looking at them with, through better lenses, or they're looking at them a little more positively now, which is a good thing for them. Even though locally how that plays out is another thing, depending on how they sell it to the people, especially there's campaign time, the opposition is not going to be cheering them on. But that is a huge feat. The last time Liberia passed, Liberia has never scored that high before on the MCC scorecard. So this is really good. They stand a chance to apply for an MCC compact because they've made two successive passes year on year, 2023 and 2024. So that's good. So they can apply for an MCC grant of $500 million and then work their way. But apart from the potential compact benefit, monetary benefit, it just shows that the U.S. government is looking at them, with a little bit of, because the MCC works directly under state, the Department of State, and passing as with those flying colors as they have is something that's good for them. But how they translate it is another thing. So yeah, so they had an issue with working with the U.S. They need to work on that. Yeah.
But I don't think my question was directly answered in relation to Barney Sherman still being reelected. What's his
Oh
name?
yeah.
Johnson. On that
Well,
time,
yeah. But I want to say this though. McGill and Bill Troy were fired by the president by the time they got sanctioned. He did that. However, there were people, there were calls for them to be investigated and prosecuted. That hasn't happened. But then, of course, they had the democratic rights. In fact, the U.S. Embassy itself said it. I'm sure you guys remember. They said, look, the sanctions are not any kind of judicial action by the U.S. government. This is purely a political policy. And so it's up to the Liberian people. And the Liberian people voted for those people because this is democracy. Democracy is messy. The people decided in the face of the sanctions, they voted for McGill. And McGill won by lots and lots of votes. McGill won by one of the highest votes any of the candidates received. What does that tell you? It also goes to show that at the end of the day, all politics is local. The people in McGibby didn't care that the United States government had sanctioned McGill. They're far removed, and they don't even understand the implications of that. It goes to show a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, the Americans said, as much as we sanction these people, it is their democratic right. They can run for office, and they did run, and they won. Yeah. So it is what it is, guys.
So before I come to my next question, let me get a part B of this question, because this MCC scope card passing, which is a good thing for the government and maybe the Liberian people to some extent, but the determination for getting that 5 million, I read a couple of different articles as of last night.
500 million.
Yes, whether it's from what you call them, this news outlet with Rodney CA and other people, and even here, there are some considerations that would be in place if they should qualify for that 500 million, right? Such as the pending election results. All of these things will have to be taken into consideration. Do you think this factor of the McGill and other people could potentially impact the possibility of Liberia getting that 500 million? Because Liberians will benefit from it directly or indirectly for the economy.
Absolutely not. McGill and Bill Troy were not elected by the government. They were elected by Liberian citizens, and Liberian citizens, private Liberian citizens who are voters who voted for them. But the government as an institution cannot be affected by the people's decision to elect two individuals who were sanctioned by the United States. So that's not going to really play out, because the way the MCC worked, the Millennium Challenge Corporation was established in 2004 by President George Bush with a new American philosophy towards giving aid, in which they tie aid to certain indicators, 20 indicators to be exact. And so the way it works is that they look specifically on the indicators. The decision to give you aid is not based on perception, it's based on what the assessment is, based on your passage. You pass, you get money. You not pass, you not get money. They not care about any other thing. So it's entirely based on that. They're not going to bring outside issue or what they call outlier issues and say, oh, okay, the fact that McGill and Bill Troy got elected, okay, well, let's put it under consideration. No, it's going to be based squarely on the fact that Liberia just passed with flying colors. In fact, we didn't pass with 14 out of 20 on our Elling at no time. We didn't pass on the critical fiscal policy indicator. And you know what? And I will just say this. We're sitting with the president today. We're talking about this, about the MCC thing. And he said something. And he said, look, they were talking about the MCC thing. And he said, I said, my man, this is great. Congratulations. You know, he said, well, he said, that's great. I said, and you know that the fiscal policy thing, you know, this is our first time passing since 2007. He said, yeah, because we did what the international community asked us to do. They asked us, they want an absolute independence of the central bank. You see that? So that is what informed our passage on the fiscal policy side of things. The international community said, the IMF, World Bank, all those people, we want the CBL to be independent. And so the president said, yes, you have that. So it was that concession that was made, and the absolute independence of the CBL now, that is why they passed. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. So he did comply. They made a request and he complied. And they got IMF people at the CBL. Every day they enter the stuff and know how much money inside a, who took money from that. The absolute transparency. That's why they passed.
Well, let me get to my next question here so that I can turn it over to Siku over there. We on SKTV have been critical of you, have been critical of the government. We have been critical of Joseph Yuma Boakai as well, and President George Weah. Most recently, we've also made some predictions that maybe you yourself are aware of that came to pass. Here's my question to you, Costa. What do you make of the future, considering the future of Liberia, the young people, considering especially Unity Party, which has been around for a while? If Joseph Boakai does not win this election, what do you make of the Unity Party going forward? And what do you make of the future of the young people in Liberia under another 6 years of President George Weah?
Well, to answer the first part of your question, to know what the Unity Party would become after losing this runoff is to look back at what it became immediately after losing 2017. We can borrow from that. The Unity Party died. Two things happened. The formation of the CPP helped to resuscitate the Unity Party. Then Henry Costa significantly helped, even though some of them will tell you today that I don't do nothing for them. But we helped to bring life back to it. The Unity Party could barely pay his rent, guys. That's how bad things were. They got evicted. And what's going to happen now is going to be even worse. Let me tell you what's going to happen to the Unity Party after losing. Joseph Boakai is going to have to retire because he's 80 years old. He's not going to be able to run again. Look at the Unity Party. Who do you find there that can easily step up and fill that vacuum? And then raising money to sustain that party is going to be a problem. So don't be surprised when the current lease expires in May of next year, and that rent is $30,000 a year. That's a lot of money. So Unity Party is going to be broke like they were before some of us came on board to try to help, and they're going to completely. Then I expect they're going to have an internal strife, power struggle. Who becomes the next leader of the party? That's going to be a problem. And there is nobody I see in Unity Party who has enough political clout and capital and name recognition and can mobilize resources and inspire the people that will rise up to fill the leadership vacuum. I don't see any. If you know any, please do tell, but I don't know. So that's what I foresee that's going to happen to the Unity Party. Now, as far as the youth are concerned, this country is largely youthful. It's always going to be a challenge. If you cannot put these young people, train and deploy them and put them to work, it's going to be a huge challenge. Many of them will continue to be motorcyclists or pimping riders, or it's going to be a big challenge because to create jobs. So we're a very youthful population. Look at the voters. We have 2.something million registered voters, 2.5, just about. About 75% of them were under the age of 43, 41, not even 43. 75% of the voters, so it's a big deal. It will be a big challenge even for the Weah government. They're going to have to do a lot of work to focus on attracting investments to put these young people to work. That's going to be a major problem. Regardless of who wins, it's going to be a problem. Joe Boakai has no magic wand to create jobs and put these people to work. Neither does President Weah. Yeah. But the advantage is President Weah has been in for 6 years. He understands the thing. He's already gotten his feet wet. And I hope now he will be able to focus on attracting investments, making the environment conducive to incentivize and attract investments to be able to put these young people to work.
All right. Thank you. Siku, up to you.
Thank you very much, Steve, and thank you, Costa. And folks, if you just joining, this is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. We have our colleagues on here. Saros is in Liberia, and our guest here today is Mr. Henry Costa, a popular talk show host, who is now, he's no longer, according to him, he's no longer an advocate, he's now a politician. So he is joining us live from Liberia. So, Cyrus, do you have one or two questions for Mr. Henry Costa?
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes. So thank you very much, Mr. Kane, and good evening to you, Pedro, and good evening to our many viewers and listeners, Liberians in and out of Liberia. And let me join my Chief Steve. Good evening to you. Let me join you to say Liberian women are the most beautiful women. There's no argument about that. I got couple of questions for Costa, but we'll start with the first one. That is, what's the difference? My first question is, what the difference it will make, supporting the CDC? What the difference has it make now, supporting the CDC government after criticizing them for 5 years plus?
Well, it's a runoff. It's an election. President Weah's first term is over. It's done. It's finished. It's an opportunity to hit the reset button, and so he's going to be starting all over. And so the criticisms that I made, some of them very harsh against President Weah, they stand. They do stand. However, as a politician, it is in the interest of the country and my long-term political interests for President Weah to continue. The reasons are simple. And I'm a politician, I can speak this way. I'm not an advocate anymore because Liberian people don't like advocates. They only like to use them. What do I mean by my long-term political interests? George Weah wants another 6 years. You know what I told him? I said, look, my man, we don't want you to pull another Donald Trump on us. We'll give you your 6 years so you leave so that you don't come back in 2029 if you don't win. So President Weah gets his second term, he leaves, and then we have a wide open field. My brother Steve can run if he wants to. My brother Sekou can run if he wants to. Anybody can run if they want to. But if you vote for a unity party, which is a corrupt group of people, they have nothing on CDC. Unity Party can't say anything about CDC that sticks because we know how they govern this country. We all know. Some of us have not forgotten. They're just looking for another opportunity to come back. And the danger is that Joe Biden will not be in charge because he's not well. He's old. He's 80 years old. And then he wants to take a Jeremiah Cohn, who is endemically corrupt, who stands for absolutely nothing. So I bet you can hardly find any sound bites of Jeremiah Cohn's speeches or statements on issues. Nothing. You can't trace it to anything. It's a dangerous thing, Sekou, that this guy who we don't know his politics. We don't know what he stands for. Well, I know what he stands for. He stands for making money at the expense of the Liberian people. So I don't want to run the risk of having Prince Johnson, a dangerous, deranged warlord, that close to the presidency in this country. I don't want to risk that. So if you're asking me what's changed, is a ticket that Buckeye formed. That's what changed. That's what made me decide I have to get involved in this runoff. That's what's changed. Let Joe Weah get reelected. We will review the situation based on how he governs, and then we can take it from there. But at this point, what's important is preventing Joe Buckeye, who is a disaster waiting to happen, from coming to power and bringing dangerous people to power. That's what it is for me. So I would rather 6 more years of Weah than 12 or possibly 18 years of Jeremiah Cohn and Prince Johnson. As I said, I'm a politician. That's how I think. Call it greed, call it whatever. That is your business. Joe Biden is a politician. He's 80 years old. He should be resting and taking care of his grandkids. But he decides to be president. So a politician thinks about the next election cycle. You've all heard that, right? Okay, so I'm thinking about the next election cycle. Joe Biden coming to power with Jeremiah Cohn and them is dangerous for the country. So I'm thinking about the next election cycle. That's it. Simple. That's it.
Go ahead, Cyrus. Ask your next question. You look like he's kind of struggling with the internet.
Okay, so
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you. My next question Yeah, my next question. Yes, my next question has to do with like now every Liberian from both sides, we all understand how United Party. We know how vindictive they get when you don't support them. But the reality of the day is this:
Okay. I said it clearly that he was struggling with his internet. That's Liberia. I'm glad that Costa's internet is working
yeah,
properly.
yeah, yeah. So am I coming through?
You are. You are clear. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So like you've been in and out. You've been, like well, like inconsistent, flipping. You supported Boaka 5 years plus. You say all the good things. You make Liberian to believe that he is the best and he can deliver Liberia. He is, in fact, the name Rescue Mission came from you. As Henry Costa, you are one of the driving force behind the rescue name and all of that. How now can you reconcile with the Liberian people with all of these criticism that you've been inconsistent? How now can you reconcile with the Liberian people that you are a Henry Costa and you're coming to do better than what you've done in the past?
First of all, let me correct you, Cyrus. Who are the Liberian people? The people we have got more Liberian people on his side than than Joe Boakai. So stop saying Liberian people. Let me just correct you. Say the people who are for Boakai. Correct it, because I'm not against the
Yeah,
Liberian people. In
but they are
fact,
Liberians.
no, no, no. But don't say the Liberian people. When you say Liberian people, it is grammatically incorrect and politically incorrect as well, because they are not all the Liberian people. In fact, Joe got more. In fact, if you should say Liberian people, you should say the Liberian people who whatever. Joe should be the one, because he got more Liberian people on his side than anybody else. So stop saying that. So I just want to say this: only God is consistent. Joe Boakai sat down with Ellen in the government for 12 years and said everything was all right. The moment he from there, he said there's squander opportunities. He said Ellen was bad. Prince Johnson said some of the nastiest things about Joe Boakai. Today they're working together. Jeremiah Kuhn said Joe Boakai brain is going downhill and pretty soon they will need to be buying him Pampers. Today they are working together. So stop with the inconsistent thing here. I'm a politician. Joe Boakai's becoming Joe Boakai's political interest and my political interest do not align. I do not want him to win. Period. It's as simple as that. So,
Right.
and stop saying Liberian people, because everybody got Liberian people on their side.
So Costa,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
So, Mr.
Thank you so
Kanye,
much.
I can just squeeze in one more.
A follow up. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Ask one more.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. So, yeah, thank you. My last question for this segment. You now been a politician, and I don't think for you, but I know you mean well for Liberia. You want the best for our country. Realizing that this government has taken Liberia into the worst that we can say. The CDC government is a clear reality that they failed our people for the past 6 years, and you wanting them to be re-elected. I know that decision has, you know, it is based on concession, and they've agreed to make a lot of changes, things that they did not do in the first 6 years. What will be your next thing if the CDC government is underperforming worse than what they even do in the first round?
First of all, again, another incorrect statement you made. You say the CDC government has failed the Liberian people. If CDC had really failed the Liberian people, CDC would not have won the first round. They would not have gotten 806,000 votes. Again, that's incorrect. You are one Liberian, but 806,000 Liberians said Joe did a good job. Point of correction. Number two, the second part of your question, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Right now, our focus is to get Joe re-elected. I can look in the future.
All right. Thank you so much, Costa. Thank you, gentlemen, for the brilliant questions. And I want to say thank you to Henry Costa for also being tolerant and answering all the questions to the best of his ability. And now I can tell that the Costa that I interviewed a few years back is different. I interviewed an advocate, Costa.
But now I'm a politician.
Now I'm interviewing a politician, Costa. I can tell. But Costa now Costa now has a different garment on that is different from what we had the last time. But Costa, thank you so much for joining SKTV once again. So speaking of Joseph Nima Boakai, I have a question for one of the major player in Liberian politics from behind the scene. This person is very, very, very resourceful and important. And from all indication, this person is actually leaning towards supporting the CDC government without CDC knowing it. But I know the person is very, very, resourceful. But the question this person asks that I should put to you, Costa, you work with Ambassador Joseph Nima Boakai, former vice president, and you are aware of most of the challenges when it comes to his health. This person asked the question that assuming Joseph Boakai wins the election, and then Joseph Boakai decided, we reported on SKTV months back that Joseph Boakai came here and they toned down the plan to go through the process because they know that the time for him to recover, the recovery process will have been longer, that could run into the election process. We announced it here, people say we were lying. But knowing what you had a very close proximity with him. So this person is asking you, assuming that Boakai wins this election, returning back to the United States to undergo a triple bypass surgery as president, what would be the cost for the Liberian people? Because now he's going to be in a presidential suite. He's going to be giving presidential treatment at the expense of the taxpayer. So this person want to know, how much do you think, given what you know, because you've been closer to the whole process, how much do you think it's going to cost the Liberian people this time around as President Boakai going to hospital, undergoing that major medical procedures, and with the recovery process taking up to 3, 4, 5, 6 months at the expense of the Liberian people? How much do you think, in your opinion, this will cost the taxpayer?
Okay. So that's a brilliant question from that person. But I will answer it this way. First of all, that person has legitimate concerns, but they shouldn't be worried about how much it will cost in terms of dollars and cents. The real cost to the Liberian people, Sickle, will not be in dollars and cents. It will be the fact that Joseph Boakai intends to, after he wins, if he wins, get inaugurated and leave Jeremiah Kuhn in office and go for a surgery. And Sickle, just to correct you, the doctors told us during the consultation that because of Joseph Boakai's age, he's an old man, he's 80 years old, and his underlying medical conditions, he's diabetic. It would take 6 months to 1 year for Boakai to make full recovery, to be able to return to normal activities. 6 months to a year. So Boakai is going to, if he wins, now the cost of the surgery itself, without insurance, is between $100,000 to $150,000. What we did was, because we couldn't raise that money, I couldn't raise that money. I couldn't raise $125,000. So what we did, we used some contacts of ours to get something called EMA, Emergency Medical Assistance. It's a form of insurance that you can only benefit from when you go through the ER. You got to go with an emergency. So here's what we did. We got a Hennepin County in the state of Minnesota to say that our uncle is old, he is sick, and he is retired, and he's undocumented. And so we want them to please help us. He has a heart condition. So they agreed. The process, we got it. In less than 2 weeks, So rather than paying, we're going to use the EMA. But the way it works is that Bwaga we're going to go to the States on the 24th. You're going to leave Accra to go to the States on the 23rd, get there on the 24th. By the 26th of March, we're going to fake it. We're going to do drama, play like Malawala Balawala style, and make it look like Bwaga fed on, or he had an episode. Then we'll call it ambulance. Then the ambulance are going to come to the house, pick Bwaga up, and take him to the hospital, Mayo Clinic, through the ER. Once you go through the ER, then we're going to request for a medical history. We're going to provide it, which shows that he needs a triple bypass. And then they were going to arrange for him to do the surgery. So we're going to have to do that because it's expensive. We couldn't find the money. So we got that for him. Everything was set. Wow. Tickets were bought. The Airbnb was paid for, $3,370. I got all the receipts. I got a plane ticket still. I spent like 10 grand for Bwaga to go. Bwaga changed his mind. He said he won't be president first. So basically, Bwaga is risking. You know, I can just see Bwaga. I look at him when I thought that you people can say a lot. And the point about you were not there. All of you saw me taking Bwaga to America to hospital. Everybody knew when Bwaga fell off in January and went to the hospital. I caught my trip shop in Liberia. I took him to the hospital. The people who were not there are the ones making people, because I lied. The papina no sick. Were you there? They were not there. So what Bwaga is doing here, the dangerous thing here is that Bwaga wants to become president and leave Kun in power and go do surgery. But the thing is that looking at Bwaga's age and his underlying condition, he's diabetic, he has high blood pressure, Bwaga is stubborn, he doesn't like to take his medications, he's reckless with his health, he's drinking soda when he shouldn't drink soda, all kinds of things. So it's a dangerous thing, Sekou. That's one of the key reasons that inspired me to make this decision to support Weah, because Bwaga wants to take the presidency and give it to Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun. It's not Bwaga you all are voting for. It's Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun. And do you trust Jeremiah Kun to be your president? When you ask them, they will tell you no, but we know Bwaga will be all right. How do you know? Who took him to the hospital? I'm telling you. Go at Bwaga.
So my question to you, Costa. So are you saying Joseph Bwaga was aware of this plan to fake? And
yeah, of course. Well, you might aware. The man desperate to be aware. That's what we're going to do, Sekou. We could not afford to pay.
And he agreed with that?
When I say the man wants to save a life, he said agree to that. Of course, he went along. That's the only way you get to benefit. We're going to fake it. Call the ambulance, and then we'll say the puppy fell off, and then they're going to take him to the hospital. He agreed because we couldn't find 125,000.
So okay, so let me ask you this question, Costa. Forget about the Jeremiah Kun and Prince Johnson factor. Given everything you know in terms of Bwaga's health, in terms of Bwaga being a liability, quote unquote, based on what you know, if you were still supporting Joseph Bwaga to be president, I mean, do you think Bwaga is going to be a different person without Jeremiah Kun's election? Or is still going to be the same Bwaga who is sick, who is a liability, who you think was somehow physically irresponsible, financially irresponsible, but you were there supporting this man to be president? Assuming that Bwaga choose somebody else or Henry Costa, will you still going to support Joseph Bwaga based on everything that you know about him?
Let me tell you something, Sekou. A lot changed for me in January.
Okay.
When Bwaga collapsed in January and was rushed to the hospital, the family didn't tell me the truth about Bwaga's condition.
Okay.
When Bwaga went to the States, before I learned the truth, because we had to take him to the other doctors in the States. That's when I learned the truth. So all along, I thought Bwaga was all right. I mean, he was just dealing with the usual things that people of his age would deal with, right? Diabetes, high blood pressure, people can live with those things. You can manage them. But the issue with his heart and the requiring a triple bypass, that issue surfaced in January, Sekou. And I got scared. And even Bwaka's own son, Jojo Bwaka, said, well, this thing here, we can't do this to the Liberian people. Daddy is not all right. But Bwaka is desperate. He said, no, I can make it. I can make it. The old man himself is desperate. He's desperate to be president. But Sekou, let me ask you a question. Bwaka is 80 years old. I mean, what kind of 80-year-old man still won't be president? Is that not desperation? Let's be fair. Yes, I supported him. Yes. But the fact that an 80-year-old man wants to be president, that's desperation, Sekou. Biden in America.
It is a desperation.
Biden in America. He's the incumbent president. And Americans are complaining that he's too old to be running for re-election. Americans in a country where there's better health care, in Liberia where an 80-year-old man is still saying with poor health, he wants to be president. That's the real desperate and greedy man there. Part of the reason Bwaka is running is because of his financial situation. Bwaka has been hungry for long. The presidency will be a real rescue opportunity for him to rescue him financially because he's hungry.
Okay. One last question, then we'll go to Steve, and then I'll try to bring Sidiki in. So, but let me ask you this. You know, when you had an interview with Joseph Nima Boakai, wherein he said that he was taking loan for his upkeeping. He said it to you.
I was a loan officer.
Yeah, give you.
No bank get out.
You were the loan officer for ordinary people.
Yeah. You never told no loan, say good. I was low. That was just another way to say I living off of people largesse. I beg you, you're loan. My man, when you tell loan, the bank has to see what they call.
My man, you know what? Let me don't make me laugh, man. Don't let me ask my question.
But I said I was a loan officer.
You are the loan officer?
Yeah.
So all the money that was coming from left and right. Okay, they okay. Let me ask you now. Since you were the loan officer, that question is not irrelevant because I wanted to know whether he ever told you the banks that he loaned from.
My man, Bwaka, when I take no loan.
So Bwaka looked in the camera and lied to the Liberian people.
Oh, it was a lie. No bank gave Bwaka loan. I'm telling you. Look, let me tell you something. Banks, especially your former vice president, banks will not water down their loan requirements because you're former vice president. Two things you have to show. Collateral. Yes, Bwaka does have collateral. But the key is repayment, your ability to pay back. They have to see your source, an income source. I've taken a loan from a bank here before. Bwaka ain't got no income. He not get no income. So how can, and they say that mean not working. That mean can't get job. You people they full of it. They look at me. I was getting money to feed their papi. They say that me, young man, I get job. But young man, I get job. You look for. So Bwaka he has never been employed since he left the vice presidency. He has no steady income. So how can the bank get any money? You have to say where your repayment source is, and the bank has to trace it. And he could not get loan against his pension because his pension is small, $800 US and 35,000 Liberian dollars a month. That's not enough money for Bwaka to have secured a loan against. So that's not true. Bwaka never got loans. Bwaka was living off of begging.
Okay, so one last question on the same begging thing. You were the loan officer, but because knowing that you do not represent any bank. And the United Party people have been saying that Costa is jobless, Costa does not work. But yet, Joseph Bwaka knew that you were not working. Do you know that you were not working? How?
But you should be asking the PPP money.
How do we expect you? I mean, how Joseph Bwaka expected you to get to be getting all this money from? Where? From where?
Well, it's very simple. I started this thing. Bwaka said he didn't want to run for president. This is all my fault. One day we had a conversation. Uncle Joe, I want you to run. He said, no, Henry, I can't run my age, and I ain't got money to take care of myself. I said, huh? Yeah. I said, but when I find money to take care of you, will you run? He said, yes. I said, okay. So I became Buckeye's sponsor. So I started looking for money. The first money I raised to spend on Buckeye was to put a transformer in a yard, 2,500 US. One day I called him, he said he never had light because the community transformer blew up. I said, no, this is bad. He said, and the generator is too expensive to maintain, $50 US a day. I said, former vice president crying about spending $50 US a day on generator. So I said, okay, I will try to get you one transformer, dedicated transformer to put in your yard. I raised the money, I sent it, we bought a transformer. That in your yard right now. Then when Jawia sent that 2G5 to him that time when his mother-in-law passed away, and Jawia said all the things he said about it, I decided to raise the money and give it back to Jawia. I sent the money to Buckeye for Buckeye to pay the money. He called Edwin Snow one time. Snow said, you're not coming for the money. Buckeye ate the 2,500. Because I reached out to him. I wanted to ask him to get the money to carry to Jawia. He said he already used the money.
That money was not given back?
No, Buckeye ate the 2,005. The 2,005 that I raised and sent to him, he ate down. So then I said, well, I'll have to find money to be taking care of Buckeye. And I don't have money myself. I'm a young man going to school in America, paying my tuition. Like people can say, oh, the man, how do you think I'll pay my tuition? I know I had student loans. I went to the States on a student visa. So I can't take student loans. Steve, you would know that. I wasn't qualified for that, right? So I had to pay my tuition out of pocket. Thank God I went to Wilmington University, a school that's not very expensive. So my bachelor's, my master's, I paid out of pocket. I have my radio station. I have Voice FM doing Ellen time. I had 24, 25 employees. People say the man never worked. I own a business. I created jobs for people. Then Jawia came, I opened my radio station again. All those advertisements from the various companies. Why you think I was running them for free? I wasn't running those things for free. I was making money. Sekou. That's why I'm doing Ellen time. We were making money. Well, when the economy got bad, later on things got bad. But we were making money. I was even in timber business, pit sawing. We were making planks to sell. Well, that one went very, very, very bad. But we were doing pit sawing. And I know he's announced these things. One time I even took $20,000 from GT Bank and bought two used cars to do car rental business. It also went bad. But I was doing business from, different hustle. Then I went ahead and we invested and bought a truck, a trailer. One time I posted on my page, I was looking for a driver. The 18-wheeler truck. We bought one second-hand one. So I've always been doing my little business, Sekou. But the money I was raising for Buckeye was not my money. Only about 10% of that money was mine. 90% I was raising from people. So what I did was I used my contacts, my influence, Sekou. I cultivated 10 donors for Joseph Buckeye. And that's how I was able to sustain Buckeye for 3 years plus. Yeah.
Well, let's go to Steve, and then I still have a few questions for you, but let's go to Steve. You know what? Let me bring Sidiki on. Sidiki being off and on. I don't know what's wrong with the internet.
So,
what's going on with the internet, man? Steve, go ahead. Ask one or two questions. Let's go to Sidiki. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. Well, so
hello? Go ahead, Steve. Then from there, we'll go to Sidiki. Steve, are you hearing me?
I can hear you, but there was an interference. That's why. So, okay, let me ask you this question. Amidst everything you've done so far in Liberia, whether people want to count it as positive or as negative, you are a father, and many people have looked up to you. What kind of Liberia do you want, and how are you ensuring that you get this kind of Liberia?
Let me tell you what I've learned, guys. I will be honest with you. God be my witness. When I started supporting Buckeye, I didn't think Buckeye would be the Messiah. I didn't think Buckeye would give me the Liberia I wanted or I want to see. that I've been fighting for. My strategy was, this old man, I think he's honest. I think he's sincere and he wants to do right. Even though he's old, he doesn't have a lot of fresh ideas. But I think with the right team, he could initiate that Liberia, that new Liberia that I want to see. Perhaps I was naive. I will admit, I was naive to believe that Bwaka could do that. My man, Steve, let me ask you a question. Why would a young man like me, who does not have money, who is not wealthy, why would he be raising money all over the place to take care of one old politician? Steve, let's be honest. Like I told Sekou the other day, I mean, you guys, I'm sure you guys were not even aware of all the things I was doing for Bwaka. You thought I was just talking for Bwaka. I was raising money left and right to take care of Joseph Bwaka. You think I was doing that just because I wanted to be close to Bwaka? I was already close enough because of what I was doing for him on my show. But I felt I was helping to bring to power a decent old man who would give me or initiate that process of the new Liberia. I say this to answer your question, Steve. What I really want is a Liberia where the president is not bigger than the country. It's a Liberia where corruption is discouraged. It is not, the president is above the fray. I mean, is above the fray in the sense that he does not dabble in corruption himself. He lives simplistically. The rule of law takes precedence. Nobody's above the law. A Liberia where Liberian entrepreneurs, Liberian business people can prosper. A Liberia where we have social cohesion, religious harmony, where Madingos and Muslims and Christians and Loma and Kisi and everybody can live together in harmony, and the government can promote them so they prosper. A Liberia that we are proud of, where we have a collective national agenda that we believe in and we aspire to and we fight for. I'm very naive, guys, but that is the Liberia that I want. But here's what I've realized, guys. I believe that I have not seen a politician that will give me that Liberia. I have not seen that politician. I thought it was going to be Joe Bwaka. We're going to initiate that. I don't see any. So right now, I'm settling. I'm settling. What I'm doing now is like, you're looking for this, but you're not going to get it. So you say, okay, then let me just settle. I have adjusted because I've lost that sense of idealism that I had. Almost naive idealism of that Liberia. No, I don't think there's anybody now who can give me that. So I've settled.
Let me ask you this last question. I'll go. For some Liberians, they consider you as hero. For some, they consider you as flip-flapper. For some, consider you as inconsistent. For some Liberian, they consider you as a talk show host. Some would say you are crook. Some would say you are unserious. Some would say you're brave. Some would say you understand the issue. Some would also say you care about Liberia. Some would say you don't care about Liberia. Who are you? And what really do you want?
Well, they said many things about Nelson Mandela. They said many things about Prophet Muhammad. They said many things about my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I think it was one time in company with some of his disciples. I believe it was Peter who asked Jesus. He asked Jesus, who are you? And then Jesus turned back to him and said, who do you say I am? So I say this to you. I know who I am. I know since I was a boy, all I want to see is a Liberia where all of us can live in peace and harmony and prosper. I want to say Liberia where government officials do not become wealthy because they're government officials. I want to say Liberia where the government stands back and promotes and supports and encourages Liberians to rise and become the best they can become. I want to say a Liberia where all Liberian children can have access to quality education and nobody's child is left behind because they're poor or because they live far away from they live far away from the opportunities to better themselves. And Steve, for a long time, that's what I fought for. That's what I'm still fighting for. But to be honest with you, my confidence in that Liberia happening anytime soon has really dipped. When you fight, look, when I started, it was all about being idealistic. Say what you want to say about me. I terminated a $40,000 contract with Daniel Cassell for Joseph Walker business. How many people you know will cancel that $40,000 contract? Let me tell you what Cassell's wife did to me. And I can't blame her. Joe Walker was in the States for Cassell's funeral. When it was time, I went home, got dressed, drove to where Walker was staying because I put him up in a place 7 minutes from my house. When I got there, Walker was eating cereal at the table. And he called me. I sat next to him. I was dressed in my suit and tie, ready to go to the funeral in Philadelphia. And Walker said to me, Cassell's wife had said specifically that she did not want me attending her husband's funeral. And you know why? Because Cassell and I fell apart. I terminated a $40,000 a year contract for doing basically nothing, Steve. Even in America, $40,000 is a lot of money. Most people don't make $40,000 a year, and that's just from one contract. This is for the unemployed male. The male, they say the man jobless, but I got half of the money. I got $20,000 because he needs to pay every quarter. So I terminated the contract because Joseph Walker was feeling insecure. He felt he was going to lose me to Daniel Cassell. When I terminated the contract, I published it on Facebook. I announced it. How many people you know would do that? A desperate, greedy young man. Costa the rogue. Costa the money gobbler. But Costa terminated a $40,000 a year contract with Daniel Cassell. And Cassell used to pay on time. You know how Cassell used to send my money? He used to send my money in Cassell's check or money order. So that was money that I knew was just coming. Like every 3 months, I get my 10 grand. Every 3 months, I get my 10 grand. But I did that because I believed that if Joseph Walker feels insecure, even though I'm raising money to take care of this man, but I was terminating a contract. The Liberian people got up. Many of them were telling me, somebody asking for proof. I'm sure Sekou didn't get back me up there. Everybody knows I terminated my contract with Cassell. Somebody asking for proof.
Anyway, let me just say something about that. You did. And besides, even before then, Steve was one of those people that said about for Costa on this platform, how can you be a member of the CPP and then you entering into political contract with another person? Don't you think that undermines the CPP? Like he said, Joseph Boakai, Commission, and everybody else in the CPP kind of felt uncomfortable with that. And when you decided, even you went after Steve, but when you decided to terminate it, you went on the radio and also said it. We can attest to that. So you don't need to join them.
It was not even for the political, but it was a murky thing because when Cassell started, he started out as a humanitarian.
Okay.
And so he signed a contract with me for his foundation, the Daniel Cassell Foundation. But he was using the foundation as his political launch pad. So yes, you guys were right. Even though I was not talking about his political work, but just by promoting his humanitarian work was still giving him political capital. Right. But it was a difficult decision, my man. This is $40,000, guys. I mean, come on, $40,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. 40,000, reliable money. And so, but I had to make a decision. I said, look, you know what? I will give up this money because Joseph Walker feels insecure. I did that. So I made a lot of other sacrifices for Joe Walker, but I did that because, again, to answer Steve's question, I did it because I felt I was supporting the right man who I felt was going to help usher in that new Liberia. And then he was going to leave and hopefully, and he made a commitment to me. He said, Henry, I will just be a transitional person.
So Costa, I beg you, I'm about to leave, Costa, not to cut you off, but I want to throw this question before I leave. What is your current relationship with Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, Darius Dillon, and what happened right after Jose Yuma Boakai picked Jeremiah Kuhn? What happened in relation to Tiawan Gonglo? Did you ever meet with Dillon and Yomli? And you can speak to it if you want to or not. but I just wanted to make sure. What is your current relationship with him amidst the fact that you were targeting the rescue one, quote unquote? Can you please speak to that? Thank you, guys. I gotta run.
Yeah, well, Youngly, Dylan, and myself were cool. Of course, we don't get to talk like that because they're busy with their campaign, and Dylan came here and saw me a few times. But I decided that so I understand their position. They're in a difficult spot, Sekou. They were not happy, but they had to be dragged to support to Joseph Boakai, you know, and they only went because you know, they made political considerations. That's what they did. But we decided we were not going to make any political considerations. We were just not going to support them. Yeah. But my relationship with Dillon and Yombly, as far as I'm concerned, from my end, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, so just a follow up to that question, based on your answer, did you say that Dillon came and saw you multiple times? Was that your first trip or this trip after when you have endorsed George?
No, Weah? Not after my endorsement of Weah, no. But he came. I was meeting a lot of them. Yombly was reaching out. Dillon came to see me twice. And I met with other stalwarts of the party. I mean, Muda is a good friend. They all were trying to talk to me to go back, but I just could not go back.
That was before the endorsement.
Yeah, that was before the endorsement. But Sekou, I would tell you this: the main man that I was close with.
That was my next question, because I was going to say, because if Dillon went to see you and Ami Moda and other people in Yombly about reaching out to you, what was the role of Ambassador Joseph Boakai, who you did everything for, who you had very close proximity with, and who you believed that could make a good president? After when you had a disagreement, what was his approach to you? Has he ever called you? Has he ever made any effort? Has he ever made any effort to, let me reach out to Henry Costa. Let's, mend fences and put this thing behind and move on. Even though I did not pick Costa, even though we have some disagreement, we stay my picky that helped me. My, reliable and, my nephew that I could not disappoint. Did he reach out to you at all?
Not at all. Absolutely not.
At all?
Joseph Human Boakai, who used to say all those nice things to me, all the months I was quiet, all he did was once in a while he would send me a message. Nephew, I hope you're doing fine. Nephew, I'm just checking on you. But never one day reached out to say, nephew, I want us to sit down and talk. He never did that. Sekou, never did that. Not once. The man is not a leader, Sekou, and he's not a grateful, good human being.
All right, let's talk politics. Real politics now. Costa now endorsed President George Weah. And Costa believed that the race is between Joseph Boakai and George Weah. People listening to you now that are still on the fence, what can you tell them? How can you convince them to vote for Weah and not Joseph Boakai? What can you tell them right now? Let's put everything behind that happened. That one is the past now. It's history. We have election in a few days. How can you convince someone who is on the fence right now to vote for George Weah and not Joseph Boakai? What can you tell them?
Exactly what I've been saying. Joe Boakai is not up to the task. His age is a problem. His health is a problem. The man he picked and he's working with is not fit to be president. And George Weah has not been a perfect president, far from it. They've made a lot of mistakes. But I would rather George Weah than Joe Boakai. Joe Boakai is who you want to vote for, but he's not going to be your president. Not for long, at least, if he got elected, because he's not well. I know this, and this is what the country knows, that I know this. Even the people who are in denial, they know, because He got sick. We took him to the States. I took him there. And so that's what I'm telling people. So if you want to vote for Joe Boakai, just know that it's Kuhn you're voting for. If you're comfortable with Kuhn being president, fine. If you're comfortable with Prince Johnson being the guy who controls the presidency, fine. But I would rather George Weah. And then we will hold George Weah's feet to the fire, and we will demand and engage him to ensure that he would do much, much better in his second term. That's it. I'm not going to tell him here George Weah is a saint. George Weah is the Messiah. George Weah has just had he's had a bath in the Jordan River. He's a new man. I'm not going to tell them that. I'm just telling them we have two difficult choices. But George Weah is far better because Joe Boakai is not able to. He's old, he's sick, and he's reckless. If a man who is risking his own life, Sekou, risking his own life for power, is not one to be trusted with national leadership. Boakai is dishonest. The fact that Boakai is denying that he's sick, Sekou, why do you think I get a man to America? Right after the hospital, I took him to the States. I mean, Sekou, you knew this. I used to watch you saying it. Boakai didn't go to America to go and chill. He went to America to go to the doctors. Why would I buy tickets? I bought the tickets on my shirt. I still have them. Why would I pay for the Airbnb? Am I crazy? Do I just have money to waste? Boakai was supposed to return to the States. He said he's not going until after he gets elected. The Liberian people think I'm just being wicked. I just want to make the old man look bad. I'm telling you the truth, and some of you don't want to hear me. I have all the evidence. I paid the medical bill, Sekou, for Christ's sake. It's on my credit card. I mean my debit card. I'm not being malicious or wicked, Sekou. I'm sounding the alarm. They may not well. You say, oh, fine.
But because this is something that we say on SKTV time without number, that the man is now well, that the man was coming to the United States for medical, procedures, and his people dissuaded him from going through the process at the expense of his own life and safety and health. But people say we were lying. So now, given where we are right now, Joseph Boakai being going to Ghana every 2 weeks. It was reported the last time that he was going through some process with one, I don't know, Chinese or Indian doctor there in Liberia.
Chinese doctor in Liberia.
Yeah, they were injecting steroid in him to give him energy or booster.
That's true.
Now, because that was discovered, we have also learned that he's going to Ghana is for medical purposes because he's now well and he needs some energy or boost or whatever that is to give him energy. That's why he's going to Ghana on bi-weekly basis. If this is true, how can Joseph Boakai be president knowing that he's now well? Why he really, really, really want to be president for? Since you're close to him.
Desperation, Sekou. When I told you.
I mean, desperation at the expense of your own health
life.
And your life?
Yeah. Sekou, yes.
Wow.
Sekou, I will tell you this. On March the 2nd, or March the 3rd, we had a Zoom call with Joseph Boakai to discuss the trip to the US. I will send you something right now so you see. You will see the Zoom link. You will see some of the conversations. Aha. This is the Zoom link. I'll send it to you. You will see that. March 2nd, we had a Zoom. I will send you some stuff so you will read and you will see. You see me talking about renting car. I'm taking screenshots right now as I'm speaking, Sekou. I'm taking screenshots to send to you.
Okay.
You will see me where I say I will rent 2 vehicles. You will see here, Sekou. I'm sending you Boakai's ticket. I'm sending it to you right now. I know nobody can say, "Oh, the man just manufactured the thing right now." I'm sending you. You have them, Sekou. Go through them. You will see. My people, y'all Sekou phone alarming. That's all the evidence. You will see the Airbnb that I paid for. You will see where Baka was supposed to stay. Everything going to Sekou, my people. That is there. And yeah, Sekou. So I just manufactured that evidence just now while we're talking.
Yeah, I'm seeing the receipt. I'm seeing the Airbnb, and I'm seeing the.
You're seeing the plane ticket. You're seeing the pictures of the house.
Yes, I'm seeing it.
You see that?
I'm seeing. Yeah.
So that's where Baka was supposed to stay. Then you see the conversation between me and Louis Tamba. I want you to read a little bit. So you see where I said I will cook soup for them for 3 days. I will drive. Yeah. Read a few for them.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. So they can see. Maybe you need to put it up on the screen so your people can see what Baka was.
I can do that too, but you know what? Let me just read a part of it. Let me see if I can put it on the screen. Just 1 second.
Yeah. So they can see. That's me and Louis Tamba were talking. When I get the ticket, you see the Zoom where we had a Zoom on March 2nd. We made the decision for Baka to go to the States. And Baka said he was going to go. Then Baka somersaulted. Okay. There you go.
That's the ticket right there.
So
let me enlarge it a little bit. Let me make it bigger. Let me see if I can enlarge in the ticket. Hold on. Yep. Seeing it?
Okay, good. You see that?
I think I can read it from here.
Yeah, you can read it from there, but can you do a slideshow with the other ones? And you slide it?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, good.
I see that one.
Hey, zoom on this one. This is very important.
I zoom on this one already.
You see that? That me and who they're chatting?
6 Louis. 6 Louis. Yeah.
Yes. I'm the one in the green. She's the one in the black.
Okay.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. If people are seeing it, can you guys read it? If you can't read it, I can read what I'm saying here.
Oh, they can read it. I can read it. You can read it. I think they can read it.
You say it is plain. It is a plane. He won't be too far. And once we put the woman near the laboratory, he should be good. And
now let me explain that. Okay. He has incontinence issue. Okay. Every 5 minutes he gotta go pee. So she was saying we should put him close to the lavatory on the plane, the bathroom. And people, let's break it down. The bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom is on the plane.
Yeah, we have to get a seat close to the bathroom in the plane because every 5 minutes he got to get up to go to the bathroom. So you can read further.
Yeah, and then she said, how about room or leg room? Because I mean, they want you to sit on somewhere where he can be able to stretch his leg or what?
Yeah, but our business class.
Okay.
It would not.
So, and then you say, okay, we'll check. I will fly that and receive them myself. So that means you're saying that you fly to where they were going for you to receive them?
Minnesota.
In Minnesota? Yeah, from Minneapolis. And I drive them to Rochester. That's Rochester, Minnesota, right? Where they have the hospital?
The Mayo Clinic. That's correct. And if you look at the Airbnb receipt,
you cook food for them, for several days. So you're gonna be you are the one to be cooking for them?
I was gonna cook for several days for food for Joseph Parker for several days.
So the lady said, "Oh my goodness, Henry." And then you say 3 different types of soup. And so actually these things are not made up, honestly speaking. People can disagree, like Costa or Hiram, these things are not made up. These are facts. But the only concern a lot of people will have, Costa, there's something called confidentiality. They're going to blame you for exposing the
your connection is bad.
My connection is not bad. I think it's from your end. It's from Liberia. Hopefully, your connection gets back. It's from Liberia. Mine is
Let me see. Let me see my
yeah. It was coming from Liberia there. Yeah.
But my is stable. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yours is still stable, and it's Costa now. It's Costa now in problem with that. I think Costa gonna come back. Yeah,
Yeah,
but the,
I got a
these
couple of
things,
questions for him, so let him come.
yeah, these things are not made up. To be honest, these are documents that you can read for yourself, and you can know that they are not made up. Honestly speaking, but Costa, you want me to show more?
Yes, yes. Go to the Zoom. Go
Which
show
one?
the Airbnb ticket.
Which
The
one is this?
Airbnb receipt. Okay,
So
that is a.
this is a Zoom. This is a Zoom link.
And you see the date, March 1st. Look at the top there, Segu.
Yeah, it's March 1st,
March 1st,
2023.
2023.
And the time is at 6:22 p.m.
You
Right.
see the topic of the meeting?
Henry Costa is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting. Topic: meeting with Joseph Nima Buakai. Time: 2nd of March 2023 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Time: US
Okay,
and
good.
Canada. Yeah.
Okay, Segu. Then go to the. You see, we had a meeting on March 2nd. I bought the tickets on March 3rd. The very next day after we had a meeting and decided when the paper will come. Then go to the Airbnb, the receipt for the Airbnb.
This
Aha.
one.
You see there, I sent her the pictures of the tickets, the Airbnb.
And
No,
then
not that one.
she just sounds good. We need to rent 2 cars.
2 cars.
One that will take you, and the other to be with them. So she's telling you that you guys need to rent 2 cars. The one that will take you, Costa, and the one that will take Joseph Akai.
Yes. And what did I tell her? I said, no,
She said,
I'll
no,
get one car. Read it.
You said, no, I will get 1 car, which I will leave with them. Okay, the car you're going to take now, you're going to leave that car with them.
Yes.
I will get drop off by one of them. Okay. By one of many men.
Many people in Minnesota.
By one of the many people in Minnesota. And then you laugh. And then she said, okay, sounds good. So now I can see flight ticket. I can see Airbnb. I can see
But show the receipt. But show the receipt for the Airbnb so they can see it. That's very important. Aha.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yep. There's a
Okay.
receipt.
This one here says. Let me make it. Let me zoom it. This one here say 150 times 15 night, $2,330. The 1%, I know that's a discount. They give, yeah, this is exactly Airbnb. I've taken Airbnb many times. So payment, the visa number ending with 3666, $3,370.12. Is that what
And
you
see
pay?
when I pay for it?
So let me say
I
something.
paid
This
for
is
it March 3rd.
This was paid for March 3rd at 8:18 47 p.m. Eastern Time. So y'all had a meeting on the 2nd of March.
Yes, yes.
And
we agree on everything.
The receipt here was on the 3rd.
Yes.
So was this Airbnb used at all, or was your money refunded?
It was never used. I lost the money, Sekou.
Wow.
Never used.
Wow.
Yeah. And then go to another thing. So you see where the Airbnb was in Rochester. You will see where it says that your Airbnb in Rochester is ready.
So
this is where Baga's supposed to stay. All right.
These are the pictures?
Yes.
Wow. Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me zoom the bed a little bit, the bedroom. So this is it right here.
That was supposed to be his bed, his bedroom, where he was supposed to be sleeping.
Wow. Oh man, living large too.
This is the bathroom right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're just making sure that these things, when you talk about them, you have pictorial evidence, is good for people to not say, you're lying. So yeah, let's get to Okay. Trying to get to some receipt here.
That's the house there.
This is the house.
Seku, zoom this. You see that? This is very important. Go to the
So
top.
the check-in time is supposed to be March 23rd.
Good.
Check out.
And look at their tickets. That's the day they're supposed to leave Liberia.
Oh, okay. No,
You see that?
I mean, it's a for Rochester. So we can see here check-in time March 23rd, 4 p.m. and check-out time April 7, 11 a.m.
Yeah, for 15 days. Because right after the surgery, he's supposed to stay here for 2 weeks so the doctors can be watching him closely before he leaves.
So the ticket here.
See the date of the ticket.
Yeah, actually the ticket here too was
March 23rd.
March 23rd.
Yeah,
see that, Seku? And I have my own ticket. Let me send you my ticket.
Accra to JFK.
Yeah.
So yeah, people who are very good at taking screenshot, you take a screenshot before I take it out because because I saw some screenshot there the last time was kind of crazy. People are very good at it.
Now he ticket their business class.
Wow. Well, I think we should jump into the conversation because I think these things are facts and we can see it. They are proven facts. So the question I wanted to ask you, Costa, is about the election.
Yep.
We're going to have the election next Tuesday. Assuming President Weah is re-elected, what kind of government do you expect to see this time around? Now that Henry Costa is endorsing Weah, CPP is endorsing Weah, and a lot of other fierce critics of Weah endorsing Weah to be elected. Do you think Weah will behave different or have a different kind of government? We have different approach when it comes to the governance process. And do you think we will see different people, different players in the Weah government that will somehow, brings some confidence, to the Liberian people that this is going to be a different government in terms of the way they're going to do things? Do you expect any changes or any change in the process of governance?
I do. And I hope. Because he says so. And so I'm hoping. And he says he wants to bring a lot of... First of all, you'll see a lot of these opposition people who are endorsing Weah. You'll see them in the cabinet. Some really good, competent people. They will be in the government. There will be some new faces. Yeah, some people from CPP, some people from other parties, but you will not see Costa. So there will be a lot of new faces in the government. And Weah says he's focused on his legacy. So I hope he will really live up to that. And so I do expect things to change. I do. Because he himself told me that there are things he's not very proud of.
So you said you will not see a Henry Costa. So you stick to what you said last time, that you will love to be, an elected official than to be an appointed official of any government.
Yeah.
Because you said that on SKTV, and we keep record, right? Anything you say, we keep it for you for the future. So you say you don't want to be, appointed, in a big position to be appointed. You want to be elected. So do we expect another time wherein Costa will be returned to the talk show and holding the Joe Weah government, if Weah government wins, whether Joe Weah or Baga government, let's assume that Joe Weah government again, are you going to go back to the talk show and start to hold government feast to fire, or you are going to be playing, you're going to be a politician and now a talk show host?
Yes, I give it 11 years. That's enough. I'm done. I'm going to be a full-fledged politician. So I'm never going back to talk show. Yeah.
Do you remember one time on SKTV when I asked you when are you going to retire from doing talk show, and you said maybe 2023 or before 2023? And I asked you, are you going to be running for something, president or senator or vice president or anything? You said the future will dictate to that. But you said you may. The reason why I asked you whether you're going to come back to be a talk show host, because I wanted to go back to what you told us that by 2023 you're not going to be a talk show host.
Yeah, that was the plan for a long time. The plan was I would help bring in Joe Buckeye, who I believed at the time would make the difference, and then I would stop. I would not need to be there fighting, then I would come try to help. That was the plan, but unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. But I'm holding, I am still following through on the other aspect of the plan, which is to retire. So that's what I've done. I'm not going back to talk show. Yeah.
So do you plan to spend the next cycle in the United States or in Liberia?
Mostly Liberia.
Why being a full-fledged politician?
Between Liberia and the US, I intend to do a lot of things here. By God's grace, we want to attract a lot of investments, we want to do business. Well, we want to make money, real money. That's my objective, to prepare for 2029. And then God will decide what happens in 2029. But my goal is to bring in investments, create jobs, empower the people, and make money. Good, clean money. That's the plan.
So before I go to Saros, when you said earlier on that you look at you did political calculus, looking at 2029, you said that wherein George Weah will be maybe retiring after a second term if he wins, and wherein you will not be giving Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party the chance to be going for 12 years. So are you thinking about running for president or senator again in 2029?
The future will decide, and it will decide on how prepared we are. By 2027, we should know. 2026, in fact, 2026, we should know where we stand. By 2026, 2027, we'll make a determination. We'll do an honest, realistic evaluation of our standing in the country, and then we'll make a determination whether we'll do Senate, whether we'll run for president. So it will be based on how much work we do. We're not just going to sit here and make a declaration we're going to run for president or we're going to run for Senate.
But it is for sure Costa will be running for an elected position.
Are we running for something? By God's grace. Yes, when God gives me long life, that's the plan. But as to what we run for will be based on what we do. It will be based on, we're not going to just run because we feel like running. It will be based on how much work we've done, how much impact we've made. Sekou, we're going to be realistic about this thing here. You do an assessment. Okay, we are midway into we are second term. How do we look? Where do we stand? If we look like we can't even be senator, we'll just forget it. If we look like we can be, we'll go for A. If we look like we can go for president, we'll go for A. But it will be based on what we do. It will be based on tangibles, impact we've made. Not just, I talk for the Liberian people. No, that's why we are transitioning Sekou from a talk show host and advocate to a full-fledged businessman and a humanitarian and a politician. So we will do an assessment and make a determination by 2026, 2027. That's what it is.
So given what you know right now about Joseph Boakai, given what has happened, and when it comes to your own participation, hopefully Costa will come back, because I'm trying to ask Costa about some of the things that happened, specifically with his involvement with the CPP, Mr. Cummings, and other people. I want to get him on record to really understand something about that, and so the Liberian people can really know exactly his current position. But yes, indeed, I want to say thank you to all of you here watching and listening to SKTV. I think so far so good. You may not like everything you've heard. You may not actually like Costa as the person. But I think the conversation has been very interactive. And I want to say thank you to all of you who have shared the show and continue to share the show. We'll be opening the line shortly. I just wanted to ask him one more question, and then Saros will ask another question. Hopefully, Costa will come back, and that's Liberia Day. Perhaps the data finished. Maybe he had to reload because Liberia is not like here where we, go continuously without worrying about data. But yes, so far, so good. Saros, from what you have heard, what do you think so far about this conversation with Costa? While we wait for Costa to come back.
Mr. Callen, thank you. The conversation is going good, and I like the way he's answering the questions. And if you ask me from my own, perspective, we all know Costa is very persuasive. That is one of Costa power. That is one of his gifts. And you can't take that away from him. But I've seen some changes in regards to the previous Costa we know that was very temperamental. The previous Costa that takes everything, that you see. Like I purposely ask these tough questions, threw it at him. So I've seen a difference and he revealed a lot when it comes to Ambassador Boaka. And Mr. Cannon, this is what I've always said. This is the wickedness of our country, of our people, that Liberia is not going anywhere. They have created this dark cloud of not taking Liberia anywhere. How can a man, former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, who knows that he's not well, even if Costa has encouraged him, who should have been the one to tell Costa no? I cannot insist this because a lot of young people, a lot of Liberians, especially when it comes to the young folks, depends on Liberia. I can maybe look among all of the candidates, say I am the oldest, check their agendas, and see the one that favor the Liberian
Yeah,
people,
let me interrupt
the
you.
young people,
Let
my
me interrupt you.
grandchildren,
Let me
my
interrupt you.
children, and a
Cyrus,
lot of young people, a
let
lot
me
of
let me
Liberians.
ask you.
Liberia
I
is
can't
a
hear you
country
guys
that
though. I don't know why.
Yeah, we can hear you, Costa. Cyrus, can you hear me? I think Cyrus' internet too is acting up. Yeah, I can hear you, Costa. Can you hear me?
No, I hear you. Can hear me?
Yeah, Costa, we can hear
I
you.
can
Maybe you
hear
need to
you.
work on your microphone. You want to go and come back? Costa, can you hear me?
We can hear you. You can
Yeah,
hear
but
us?
we can hear me. It looks like he's not hearing me. Okay,
Yeah,
let me
so
see.
maybe you have to go and come back.
Yeah, he has to go and come back. Yeah, so your analysis are on point. I think he's kind of transitioning based on what I just listened to.
Yeah,
Costa kind of
yeah,
transitioning.
Mr. Karen. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we are having some issue with you guys over there. The internet is
so
so yeah. So
Mr. Karen, am I coming in?
yeah, but your internet is not too good.
Oh, okay, let me try to switch to the other one. I don't know why.
So yes,
Jesus Christ.
given what we know, given what we have listened to, Costa coming on SKTV today, it may not be to the liking of everybody, but I think it's very essential. And Costa came here, he has confirmed many things that we said here in the past when we were insulted, We were disrespected. People said we were lying. Especially when it comes to Joseph Nima Boakai's. Whether it's about his health, whether it's about his traveling to the United States, whether it's about the plan for the triple bypass surgery, the recovery time, and everything. And when Joseph Boakai came here for the last time, we made it very clear that Joseph Boakai was supposed to go for a surgery, the recovery process for which would have taken at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months that could run into the election. We were instructed, they said that we were lying. Now, this receipt, the plane ticket, the receipt for the Airbnb, everything. You know very well, Costa and I, we had no way of sharing any information. Costa would have shared any information with us about Joseph Boakai. They knew very well we were very critical of Joseph Boakai. We've been very critical of Costa himself. So there's no way that Costa could have been the one to send us those information. Costa had no idea as to how we learned those information. Joseph Boakai people, they had no way of knowing how we were getting those information. But today we are vindicated and we are proud as an institution that everything we have said have come to pass. Almost 99.9% of the time. We are very proud for being credible, for being an institution with integrity, being driven by honesty and fact. Whatsoever Costa said, like I said on my personal page, when it comes to his relationship with Joseph Boakai, I believe every single part of it. I believe everything 100%. Because you know why? Joseph Boakai and Joseph Boakai supporters, they believed in everything Costa said back then, at that time. They even, in fact, allowed Joseph Boakai to be controlled, managed by Henry Costa. And he did so very well. In fact, let me say this, without me going into a detail of Joseph Boakai and myself conversation. You know very well, we told you that Joseph Boakai was supposed to be on SKTV. We set the time, date, did a flyer. It was a no-call, no-show. And when we engaged him after that, we were informed that Joseph Boakai is going to come to the United States. He told us he would prefer having a conversation on SKTV when he comes to the United States, because customarily Joseph Boakai will always come to Phoenix because he has his best friend here, and Joseph Boakai benefited a lot from here when he was vice president, from the state, from the city council, and from the state government. He benefited a lot. And one of his good friends here, who is Dr. Shaman, who was very close to the authority here. We're going to be bringing Dr. Shaman here shortly on the show. Not today, but he's going to be here. So Joseph Boakai informed us that when he gets to the United States, he's going to come to SKTV because he was being prevented by some folks in Liberia that there are too much of bureaucracy that will enable him to come on SKTV. So when he came here, before he came here, Mo Ali told me, Sekou, my man, you know, for the Pape to come on the show, it can't just be directly between you and the Pape. You know, Jay Kawakwali is the chief of staff. You know, get it through Jay Kawakwali. I said, my man, I don't get Jay Kawakwali number. Mo Ali, send me Jay Kawakwali number. When the Pape came, I have two phone numbers, cell phone number for Joseph Boakai. When the Pape came here, I called Joseph Boakai many times. He didn't pick up. I called Joe Kabakwali countless numbers of times. He didn't pick up. When the Pape went back, when the information about Joseph Boakai meeting with Commies came out, I contacted both to confirm the information. I spoke to Mr. Commies lengthily, and I spoke to Joseph Boakai lengthily. So I'm saying these things for people to know. You good, Costa? Can you hear me? You are muted. Unmute yourself. You are muted. What's going on, Costa? You just press the mute button and you'll be unmuted. Okay. So just before Costa comes in, I spoke to Mr. Cummings and I spoke to Vice President Joseph Nimon Boakai, confirming the meeting in Ghana. And I know exactly what I heard from both of them. And I know when I mentioned Jacob Akoli, when I'm told Ambassador Boakai that I've called you many times, and when you came here, I called you many times, you did not live up to the promise and this and that. The woman apologized to me, and I told him I called Jacob Akoli so many times, he never picked up. The paper was very clear to me. Sekou, but why you didn't call Costa? You know, the reason I'm saying this, just to confirm some of the things that Costa have said. Costa, can you hear me now? Oh, you hear me?
For some reason, I can't hear you guys.
We can hear
I'm
you.
sure it's from my end.
We can hear you. It's from your end.
Oh, we can hear you.
My computer shut down on me. I'm trying to connect from the cell phone.
Yeah, but we can hear you.
But I'm having trouble.
We can hear you. Hopefully you'll come back so we can conclude this conversation. Maybe we'll do it again, but
we can hear you.
Yeah, Costa is working on his stuff, but he's muted actually from our end. He's muted. I don't know if he muted himself. So for the puppet to have told me, Sekou, why you didn't call Costa? You should have called Costa. And I said, why? He said, because Costa was the one in charge of everything. That's what he told me. Costa was the one in charge of everything. You should have called J. Kabakoli. And I've called J. Kabakoli many times. The rest, you still muted though. Unmute your phone. This is bad.
It's still coming in. The network giving him hard time.
Oh, you know, he went. Yeah, he's still having some problems. So I'm saying this to say, without talking about some personal conversation we had, I just want to confirm some of the things that Costa said. Costa was actually in charge. And that was confirmed to me by Ambassador Boakai himself. And by the time, Costa and I had some disagreement. Wherein he went on his platform and said some things about me, wherein I came here, blasted, and then, people talk and this and that, we all put it behind us and move on. I don't keep grudge. I don't keep grudges at all. We will talk, our thing, we put it behind you and behind us, and especially when it comes to politics. I care less about how people feel about politics. Because politicians that you're going to kill yourself or you're going to, burn bridges for, they will come together one day and, do whatever they got to do and move on. And you will be there, not talking to your brother, not talking to your sisters, not talking to your friends. So Costa will try to come by. If he comes by, fine. If not, maybe we can do another time if he has his computer. So Saros, given what we know right now, it seems like when they say Liberian people are resolved, it seems like the CDC and sedition and their supporters are resolved. And they are very confident that they're going to win the election. According to some CDCians, some key players within the CDC, they are very confident. They are not even worried about winning the election any longer. They worry about how they're going to govern, how they're going to have a government of inclusion, how they're going to take the government to the people, unlike it has been in the past 6 years, and how they're going to open up to the Liberian people, to the public. It seems like CDC people are realizing that for the past 6 years, we said this before, over and over, that CDC is not doing well when it comes to PR, when it comes to engaging the public, when it comes to talking about some of the implementations. Their failure, their mistakes were being highlighted than the successes because they didn't do a good job. And what I heard, I've learned that they are going to actually be open to the public this time around, thereby making all their information available to the public, thereby, even, reaching out to everybody when it comes to, appearances on all the radio, whether the friendly one or not so friendly one, where they are comfortable, where they are not so comfortable. I learned that they will be going to all the platforms this time. They are even telling me that they don't worry about winning the election. They finish win the election. I mean, time will tell. CDCians are very confident that they will already win the election because the fact that they won the first round, that they're going to be adding to their number. They're not going to be taking anything off. So their number going to be added. It's not going to be reduced. CDC is confident that they're going to win the election. They won't worry about how they're going to govern. That's what I heard. Unlike, same thing like Unity Party, they say they're going to win the election too. But if we're going to go by what we saw in the first round, Cyrus, can you hear me? It looks like something is going on from here. So something, Unity Party people are saying that they're going to win the election. They are sounding very confident. And listening to Amora Kone, former finance minister, former minister of planning, Honor Elling, he was very confident. And he said that they are going to win the election. He even talked about some of the plan that they have to change Liberia when it comes to our standing economically. And since he is an expert when it comes to economy, those things sound like, they're sounding very good. But everybody is confident that they're going to win the election. Time will tell. I'm trying to open the line here. I'm seeing something that is not, it looks like people trying to actually attack us. So, like some of the statement made by the CDC, I believe they can still win the election because they won the first round. So the Unity Party will have to perform better than the day before in order to win the election. Because Unity Party did not win the first round. They came second. So the party that win the first round, we have to apply a little more effort to get to the finish line. But the party that came second, we have to do more work to pass, to reach to where, the first person empower that person, and giving the resources, giving the campaign strategies, giving the way they've been doing things, CDC turned to have a better chance because CDC has the resources. CDC now having a better approach because they've been reaching out to everybody. And they've been very, very, very smart. They have been very smart. They have been very tolerant. And they have been playing their card right by making sure that they win other people who did not support them in the past. Unlike the Unity Party, they are fighting everybody for what happened in the first round. So if you did not support Joseph Boakai, you didn't say good thing about Joseph Boakai in the past or in the first round, that means they don't need you. If you never supported Joseph Boakai, you never said good thing about Joseph Boakai in the first round, Unity Party people don't need you. Politically, they are not smart. They are not tolerant. They are not strategic. I think that is very, very bad. Most of the people that are saying today that they will support the CDC, they were never CDC fan. Most of the people that I know, especially from the CPP, that are even campaigning or even making fun out of the Unity Party right now on Facebook, they were never CDC fan. They were the worst thing about George Weah in the government of Liberia. But because of the politics played by CDC, whether it's about reaching out to the people, whether it's about playing it safe, not to cross the line with certain people, whether it's about reaching out to people after the election, whether about using the financial resources, whether about, whatever they could do, they have done everything to win a lot of people over. Unlike the Unity Party, they just insult you, making fun out of people, making fun out of commies. And some people will hate you for you disrespecting commies, even you do nothing personally to them. They will just hate you for doing that. Because they feel like commies was not being treated fairly. They feel like commies was cheated. So the best you can do is talk to them nicely, respect them. But you are there making fun out of them, calling them 1%, calling their names, disrespecting commies, making statements like commies will never be president in Liberia, as if to say you own Liberia. Commies will never be this. In fact, commies number this time around, it was 1%. The next time, commies number going to be 0%. You are making those kind of derogatory and disrespectful comments to commies, and then you want commies and commies supporters to support you. How possible is that? Citizens, they have received the worst attack and criticism from us because they are the government. But they are tolerant. Citizens, they never used to be tolerant. They used to be very, very, very aggressive and disrespectful. But now they have grown politically. They walk on the far line. They respect, people's opinion now, regardless. Guess what? They are winning people. Golden Heart, welcome to SKTV. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman here, he's called Golden Heart. He is one of the reporter for SKTV. He was not available for the interview, but we want to introduce him to the public, to our many friends and well-wishers and followers. Golden Heart, can you hear me? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You are muted.
Okay, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm hearing loud and clear.
I'm hearing myself for some reason. So, welcome. You have an earpiece? If you don't, that's fine.
Okay.
So welcome, and please introduce yourself to our people. You are one of the newest member of SKTV family.
Okay, so CEO, I want to say thank you very much. It is a pleasure, you know, afford me such an opportunity as a young person to basically exercise what I do know and what I want to professionalize in. And more to that, uh, I'm one person who believes in the rule of law, good governance, and have passion for what I do. So again, I want to say thank you for affording me this opportunity. It is a glorious one, and to all of the 431,000 followers of SKTV, I'm going to say I'm your newest boy. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to stay for good. So I want to say thank you. Thanks to all of you. I was following the interview with Henry Costa. I couldn't come on live because I was in the backstage doing some regulations, and I was doing sharing and regulating the and moderating the comment section. So I couldn't come alive. But again, Pedro, I'm not a fan of Pedro, but I believe in one thing: do unto others that you want them to do unto you. So, in as much as Costa is persistent and consistently attacking Joseph Barker nowadays, I'm one person who supported to the fullest because I know what it takes to dent someone else's character. And so I want to say thank you to all the followers of SKTV. I'm your newest boy, and I'm here to stay. Cyrus, good afternoon. To all of you, if you're out of Liberia, good evening to those who in Liberia. I want to say I'm here. This is Golden Heart. I'm here to say thank you very much. See you.
Thank you, Golden Heart, and thank you so much for what you've been doing. I've been monitoring actually as the show was going on. I was reading comments and I was seeing actions, and I saw exactly what you were doing, and we really appreciate it. So yeah, so what is your overall take on this particular interview today?
Well, you know, we will have more of this conversation with Costa. We will be like for us who follow him. I'm a ordained follower of propaganda. I follow almost all the propagandists, including Stanton Witherspoon. You know, the one who is now under the spotlight for incarceration. Uh, More to that, Enro Costa appearance on today's discussion with UCO, uh, it means that all of those things that some of us who have been speaking about in the past time, we were right. Because when we keep saying these things are propaganda, mind you, now propaganda come in two forms, two ways it works. Either the lying part or the truthful part. The truthful part become the one that people don't consistently sell. But lying pass becomes the one that is consistently sold, that people will buy into it. At the end of the day, it becomes a cliche. And when it becomes a cliche, that means it paints another decent character very dark. And so Costa now is trying to play a fair card. He previously was an attack dog for the Unity Party because his previous intent was to resuscitate the political life of VP Buaka, of which he succeeded. Voluminously, he succeeded. And based on that, today we have Buaka surfacing in our political dispensation. The current reality of young people, we still have the likes of Joseph Buaka because of Henry Costa. And so we want to say kudos to him, he played a part, but now he is the same Henry Costa we used to know 2, 3 years back. That was an attack door to Mr. Cummins and other political factors and country. And this is the same guy who's now early referencing Waka. He's discussing Waka for the wrong reasons. He's telling Liberian people why Waka should not be the face for president. And so again, yes, I support Costa. Like I said, once Costa is speaking the way he's speaking consistently as of now, I will keep supporting Costa because I believe that he's trying to balance the card and do the right thing for the Liberian people to know that previously all these shenanigans, these statements you were making were all random lies that were made up to purport a certain image of a certain group of people and to tint the character of a certain group of people. So I want to say kudos to Costa. His appearance on the SKTV was not a mistake. We'll have him here repeatedly and consistently. Thank you, CEO.
So yeah, thank you so much, Golden Heart. And so Golden Heart, the reference CEO, I'm not accustomed to it. A lot of people, my friends were laughing because I mean I don't like those kind of things. You call me Seku, call me Mr. Kenneth. Let's have a conversation. Feel free. Let me tell you that. The reason is very simple. You see, Cyrus call me Mr. Kenneth. In the back, he called me boss man because we can joke, we can have a lot of fun together. So on here, when we come on SKTV, trust me, I don't really care about those things because you know why? I've grown a lot of new men. I've grown a lot of people. I've served my community as refugees, wherein I brought together young Liberian men from all backgrounds, from all tribe, from all country. And when I came back to the country, we served in several capacity. When I came to the United States, I've served in a lot of different community positions. But I don't really like title. Respect is earned. You don't have to tell people to respect you. If you do what you're supposed to do, people will respect you. When we transition from the leadership of FEMUSA, from president of FEMUSA to come to talk show, we were criticized. How can you leave from presidency of FEMUSA now a talk show host? Inserting, making it to look like transitioning from FEMUSA president to a talk show host was a demotion. That's how some people think. Thinking that, okay, FEMUSA presidency is bigger than being a talk show host. And today, we have one of the biggest talk show in the Liberian society. Today, we have SKTV with 431,000 followers. We are proud of ourselves. We are proud of everybody who have contributed to SKTV. So title is not a big deal for me. What I like is what you were doing behind the scene. Backdoor hard work, making sure that SKTV is second to none. And to our followers and supporters on here, kudos to all of you, man. You people are the best. So we're not going to stay here for too long. We've been here now for almost 3 hours. So Costa texted me that he's having some terrible problem with his internet and promised to come back. So we will have a post-election conversation with Costa. We will invite other actors, other political actors on here to have a conversation. We want to encourage all of you to continue following SKTV. As a matter of fact, we plan to bring some key government officials on here and opposition officials. Again, we are open. You can invite yourself. You can reach out to any member of SKTV family expressing your interest to come on SKTV. We will be more than happy to bring you on. We will also invite people, including government officials and opposition alike. Cyrus, we are leaving. Any closing statement?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kana, and the interview was a very great one. I hope and look forward to more of these interviews where we can ask these people the tough questions, especially SKTV being known as the most credible media institution in our politics now, in the country, in the political space, in Liberia as a country, that they can account, to their words. They can be able to tell the Liberian people what they want to do for Liberia. So I want to say thank you to all our SKTV family. Continue to support SKTV and continue to, follow SKTV because we don't come here for gossip. We bring the raw facts, the pictorial evidences when it comes to information in Liberia. And to calling out, I will hold you in contempt for you not recognizing me. So yes, thank you, Mr. Kane, for having me on the show again. And tomorrow, Yeah, tomorrow again, I know we will be here to give the Liberian people, the message. And Liberians, please, let's put Liberia first, and let's continue to fight for this country because it is the only place God has given us as a home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bodhi, I want to close.
Yeah. So let me say, I'm sorry to my colleague, Cyrus Nemane. Cyrus, I referenced you when I came on. I actually highlighted your name in my, my introductory speech. I said
you did.
Yeah, I did, right? But then probably his internet was fluctuating, so he didn't get what I was saying. So again, in this public sphere, I want to say, brother man, we together. We're gonna do this for the good of all of the four of us of SKTV. We're gonna be, as usual, we're gonna be the die-high ones, because every time we get into something, we want to do the best of our ability. We want to make things work, expeditiously, to the extent that people will, over and over make reference to us that, our platform, the newest platform we've joined, will start to make some random impact across Liberia. So I want to say again, CEO say I shouldn't be calling you CEO.
You can't, but I don't really care. It doesn't bother me to call me Sekou Officer Kennedy. It's fine. Yeah, but
So,
whatever makes you comfortable, just do that. I don't care.
Yeah.
If so CEO what I like, that's what you like, that's fine. I would take it. You won't call me Sekou, I would take it. Mr. Kennedy, I would take it. Whatever, SK, whatever you give me, I'll take it. I'm good.
You are the best
CEO. You are CEO of our police, with our police record.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you, buddy.
So you are the best CEO. A CEO of our police record.
Because the other CEO, because the reason why I don't let the new CEO, so now when you put a CEO on you, sometimes you can end up going somewhere. And I don't want to go nowhere. I want to stay right here. So your CEO, you're thinking about me. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, Steve.
Amanda, Maipuye, Iliberia, Maipuye, Jovia, Deble,
Trigger.
Aha, y'all on the road, the punch giant ready to take over.
Like it.
Y'all on the road, beat Papa come here again. Y'all on the road, Papa Georgie come here again. Y'all on the road, Mama Joe come here again. Who on the road, see Tisha come here again. Now the whole country giant coming soon.